Naruto, starting the live broadcast to the ninja world. Hello again, dear adventurers of the multiverse. Thanks for joining us once more on this epic journey. Remember, this story is pure science fiction from our wild imagination, so don't go trying to summon dragons in your backyard. The rights of this amazing novel belong entirely to its original author, we are only the narrators. Do you want more adventures? Show some love to our YouTube channel with a subscription and a like. And if you'd like to support us and access extra content, we are now on Ko-Fi with open arms. Chapter 426 Targeting Naruto. Ninja world, that counts as cheating, right? But luckily, Sasuke didn't say anything. Seeing this face that is extremely similar to Naruto, Sasuke is more certain that the ninja spirit will not change. You can tell from playing games that Naruto is not the type to follow the rules at all. Humph. Evil Fang Zhu, what exactly do you want to do? On screen, you won the bet with my father, Boruto. Boruto looked in the direction where the sound came from. Yes, so, now you are my father's disciple? What are you going to do? Boruto smiled and said, I want to know my father's weakness. Sarada's tone was full of helplessness. I don't mean to criticize you or anything, but before you challenge the 7th Hokage, we have to become Chunin first. Do you understand? Boruto was stunned, and then retorted, that's why I want to learn and train under the guidance of Uncle Sasuke, and then show my strength in the Chunin exam. Boruto stretched out his fist and clenched it, saying confidently, one day I will surpass his strength. Sarada pointed at him, that's her strength? Then she hugged her arms again. Seriously, what are you thinking about? Isn't it obvious? I think we're going to be at the top of the list in the Chunin exams. As he spoke, Boruto took out the application form for the Chunin exam. I don't mean to criticize you or anything. Changing the subject, Sarada also took out the application and said with a smile, but sometimes, you are not that annoying, came the voice of Mitsuki, who was holding up the Chunin exam application form. Don't forget me, okay? Screen turn. The 8-tailed Gyuki was pinned to a huge rock by several red chakra rods. Momoshiki, who was sitting on Kinshiki's shoulder, said, I didn't expect the chakra to be dispersed in this way. The sacred tree has fallen, and there is no trace of Kaguya in the world. Jinshi said, it seems that the creatures on this planet have obtained knowledge that they should not have. The Ushio raised his head tremblingly, opened his mouth, and began to condense the tailed beast. Fall. Momoshiki, who was opposite it, took out a chakra dan and swallowed it. Momoshiki responded to Jinshiki's words, we will take them back one by one. After saying that, he stretched out his palm, pointed it at the Nia Gui, and a red samsara eye appeared in his palm. Take this move. Boom. The tailed beast ball stopped in front of Momoshiki's palm and began to be absorbed rapidly. I will return it to you. Double. Momoshiki opened his palm, and a chakra ball larger than the Ushiki appeared in his palm. A dazzling golden light lit up. Boom. The Kingdom of Thunder Unite Village. The 4th Raikage's eyes were bloodshot. Compare. Damn outsiders. Rain Country. Naruto was startled. Uncle B, do you died? Although he has not met Killer B yet, from the plot revealed on the screen, it is thanks to him that he can control the 9 tails chakra, and they have a good relationship even though they had no feelings for each other in reality. Naruto still felt a little sad. Sealed space. Kyuubi's voice came out, Nakatashi, starting tomorrow, I will supervise you to practice well. And you must grow up as soon as possible to the point where you can use my chakra. Kingdom of Windsand Hidden Village. Shukaku said, Garbrandt, you have to work hard on your training in the future. You have to be at least stronger than the perfect Jinchuriki. Otherwise we will all die. It doesn't want to become a chakra dan. Even the 8 tails has no power to resist, so the situation for the rest of the tailed beasts won't be much better. It is true that the tailed beast can be resurrected after being killed, but who knows if it can be resurrected after turning into chakradan? It doesn't dare to try. Ninja world. This outsider wants to collect the tailed beasts. Hiss, is a casual attack so powerful? Even the perfect Jinchuriki Killer Bee has no power to resist. Can Naruto and Sasuke really fight against such an enemy? I told you. Infinite Tsukuyomi is the best way. If it can really succeed, how could I be afraid of outsiders coming to the ninja world? On screen, Jinshi grabbed Kirabi's head and lifted him up. Momoshiki placed her palm on Kirabi's belly. The 8 tails chakra in Killer Bee's body condensed into chakra dan in his palm. Imagine that high-density chakra exists in the human body in the form of tailed beasts. Finally, the 8 tails chakra condensed into 4 chakra pills. Is that all? Alright, I used most of the pills when I traveled through time. Jinchiki let go of his grip and Kirabi's body fell into the river. Lord Momoshiki, there is a stronger reaction in the east. I believe the massive chakra we are looking for is there. Country of Earth Iwagakure Dieter made a disdainful sound. Look how crazy he is. Naruto, why don't you beat the shit out of him? Ninja World, you dare to set your sights on Naruto. No need to guess the result. Naruto and Sasuke will play mixed doubles. I don't know if Naruto and Sasuke can defeat this guy. If not, the entire ninja world will be at their mercy. If it weren't for Naruto and Sasuke, all of us combined wouldn't be able to fight against such a being. Targeting Naruto? Doesn't that mean there will be a very exciting battle soon? Pure Land Madara looked solemn. Although he was confident that he could do this, it was obvious that these two guys were not easy to deal with. Divine Space Abido was lost in thought. After becoming the Six Paths, can you solve future crises? If everyone went to a more ideal world, then he would naturally be the one to solve the crisis in the ninja world. It would be best to get rid of them right away when they just arrived in this ninja world and before they cause any trouble on screen. Boruto threw shuriken at a target in the distance. 3 shurikens, 2 missed the target, and 1 hit the bullseye. How about it? Sasuke said, you can make the shuriken bend a little bit now. After that, Sasuke pointed at another target. The next thing to learn is this. Boruto looked at another target and asked, how can I make the shuriken bend so much? 2 shurikens appeared in Sasuke's hand and he threw them at the target. The 2 shurikens collided in the air. One of them was bounced away to an unknown place, while the other shuriken hit the bullseye accurately. Sasuke said calmly, use your brain, don't expect a direct answer. Boruto pursed his lips, glanced at Sasuke, and said firmly, I know. Pure Land Minato lost in thought. Sasuke's intention in training Boruto like this. Do you want Boruto's Rasengan to have a weird angle so the enemy can't detect the direction? If you were facing an ordinary ninja, even if Boruto was not as strong as the opponent, the Rasengan he could throw might be able to hit the enemy in the ninja world. How many people can withstand a Rasengan without getting hurt? Chapter 427. Correct answer. On screen, Fangzu took out the technological ninja tools. You must win, Boruto. No matter what. When you are in trouble, the high-tech ninja tools will come to save you. As he said this, he placed the high-tech ninja tool in Boruto's hand. Don't think so. Painfully screen turned. Chunin exam site. Shikamaru on the stage looked at the group of Jinan candidates below and said, the Chunin exams are starting now. Everyone, now is the time to show off everything you have learned. Downward. Boruto lowered his head and made a decision in his mind. Just watch, you bastard. I'm going to make it to the end on my own. Okay, now let's start the first test. Each team of 3 must stand on the side that you think is the correct answer. This is the question, Sagi said, pointing to the large screen above his head. In the 5th volume of the Ninja Tactics story, the 3 codes are as follows: moon, sky, mountain, river, flower, honey, billow. The Jinan were talking quietly. Right or wrong, I haven't read that story. Boruto looked at Sarada. Sarada, do you know that novel? Mitsuki also looked over. I know a little bit, but I only read up to volume 4. I didn't even know there was a volume 5. Mitsuki smiled and narrowed his eyes. In this case, we should just give up. At least you have to take a good guess. Mitsuki, after hearing Boruto's words, Mitsuki looked thoughtful. Sarada asked, Boruto, what do you think my father will choose? He should have made the wrong choice. He is not a very traditional person. As he said this, he noticed that Sarada looked a little strange, and asked, but, why did she become like this all of a sudden? While the 3 of them were discussing, many Jinan had already reached their own choice of answer. I still plan to become Hokage. I don't want to make the same choice as my father. Mitsuki smiled and said, then, let's choose the right one. Right, yes, let's go. As they spoke, Sarada and Mitsuki ran towards the correct answer, and Boruto had no choice but to follow on stage. Okay, we'll decide to listen to your answer. The wrong answer is that those who dyed their hair black did not pass. Someone asked below, what does it mean to dye black? Sagi smiled and said, you will understand. The answer is. Sagi raised his hand and waved it downward. The screen above his head began to flash rapidly. The correct answers are displayed along with the incorrect answers. Ninja World can't read. It's too hasty to decide the selection for the Chunin exam like this. The guys in Konoha are so weird. Sagi's smile is very evil. I think there must be some deep meaning behind it. Right, it's easier to get promoted during wartime. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan Niji couldn't help but feel curious. Boruto, what is the answer? Hayashi also looked at Boruto, not to mention the candidates. Even he didn't understand it. Boruto touched his nose, feeling a little embarrassed. There is no answer. Originally, he was thinking of relying on his own strength to make it to the end. As a result, I was almost eliminated at the beginning. Well, He was the only one in the team who was almost eliminated on screen regardless of whether the candidates chose the correct answer or the wrong answer. They all felt their feet suddenly go empty. Next moment the dense crowd of candidates fell downwards. PFFT, PFFT, I don't know how many candidates fell into the ink pool below. Zinxi controlled the sand iron and lifted his two teammates into the air. Looking down at the ink well, I see those who fall in will be eliminated. The other side. Boruto gritted his teeth as his figure rapidly fell downwards. Damn, is it over, Ninja World? I see. So this first test is about reaction. Boruto, you said you would rely on yourself to make it to the end. If you use high-tech ninja tools, wouldn't that be a slap in your face? You won't fail the first exam, will you? On screen, just at the critical moment, Sarada took out a rope and hooked it on Boruto's clothes. Mitsuki stretched out his arms and grabbed the rock wall with one hand. Boruto, who was hanging in the air, opened his eyes and looked up. Sarada pulled him with a rope, and Mitsuki pulled Sarada all around, climbing up. What do you mean? Should I choose wrong? That yes or no question should be meaningless, Sarada also said to Boruto. This test was a sleight of hand from the beginning. There is no fifth volume at all. Shikode, who used his shadow to hang two teammates on the rock wall, continued, those who fail will be stained black. That's what he said, so as long as you don't get stained black, you'll be safe. Jingshun complained, this kind of embarrassing and boring exam is exactly my father's style. After saying that, he sighed, Fire Nation, it's okay. Sagi is quite creative. It looks like a judgment of right and wrong, but it's actually a test of reaction. It's not just a test of reaction. If you refuse to give up while falling and try your best, even if you just hold on to the rock wall like other candidates, or like Boruto, you are helped by capable teammates, you will have a great chance of passing. It seems to be a test of reaction, but it actually has a deeper meaning. That's why I praise this kid for his creativity. How can a guy who is in Team 7 with Naruto be simple? Shikoku stroked his mustache. My grandson looks. Why does it seem like he is the backbone? This is not like him and Shikamaru at all. He could tell from some of the previous details when Shikode left the table with his plate. Jingshun said in a panic, I'd better leave too. This is the best. That can explain a lot of things on screen. Exactly. After seeing a pool of ink and realizing your mistake, if you give up and allow yourself to be stained with black ink, you will not be qualified to be a Chunin. The purpose of the first test is to test whether you will make the second choice to give up or persist when you are forced into a difficult situation. The one who did not fall into the ink is correct, so the first Chunin exam is over at this point, Sagi announced. The second exam will be held in 3 days, Sarada said excitedly. Great. Mitsuki also looked very happy. We succeeded. Only Boruto hung his head. He squeezed his right wrist. Not far away, a Konoha ninja looked at the scene in front of him and reported quietly into the headset, he got through somehow. Ninja World. Boruto was shocked. The Chunin exam is not as easy as he thought. Both the guy playing with Iron Sand and Shikamaru's son are not simple characters. Dr. Fang, who wishes to remain anonymous, is that you? I can't think of anyone else's spy other than you. This Fang's who? I guess his purpose is to promote and gain recognition for his technological ninja tools. Why does he make himself look like a bad guy full of conspiracy? Chapter 428. No Successor 2. On screen, Hokage's office. Naruto rested his chin on the table and weakly pressed a stamp on a document. Shikamaru walked over to his desk. Boruto's class passed the first exam. Oh, hearing this, Naruto straightened up. Shikamaru asked, are you still thinking about taking the Chunin exam? Although I shouldn't say this, but maybe you should give him some encouragement. After hearing what Shikamaru said, Naruto fell into thought. Naruto's home. Boruto lay on the bed, looking at the ceiling, a little absent-minded. After an unknown amount of time, he turned his head and looked at the technological ninja tools on the table. At this moment, the computer suddenly lit up. Boruto quickly got up and went to the computer. I saw that it was actually an email from Naruto. His blue eyes gradually widened. I saw it read, congratulations on passing your first exam, and good luck with your next one. Fifth year male. He didn't even send a shadow clone. Boruto's shoulders shook. Asshole dad. Hokage's office. Naruto released his finger from pressing the send button and slumped in the chair as if he had collapsed. Fire Nation. Is Boruto crying? No matter what he says, Boruto really cares about Naruto's attention. If Naruto says a few more words, Boruto will probably secretly use the technological ninja tools to win the game. Right. If Boruto makes it to the third exam successfully, Naruto will be very happy. Boruto will definitely not want to disappoint Naruto. Facing geniuses of the same age who are not weaker than him, Boruto is likely to use high-tech ninja tools to cheat, but Naruto probably won't tolerate that. There's no way Boruto will cheat on something like this. He's Naruto-san. Speaking of which, using ninja tools can't be considered cheating, right? If you can connect to spirit beasts, why can't you use ninja tools? On screen, Boruto threw 2 shurikens at the target in the distance. The 2 shurikens collided in the air, and one of them successfully hit the target, although it was still some distance away from the center point. Boruto turned around, clenched his fists, and excitedly shouted to Sasuke, "Everyone knows that shuriken jutsu is Sarada's specialty. I mean, she is yours. She is from the Uchiha clan after all, according to your logic, Boruto." Sasuke held up 2 fingers, bang bang bang. There were 8 more shadow clones beside him. "This technique should also be your specialty." Boruto dropped his hands. "I guess so. This is Dad's specialty, right?" Sasuke asked. "You have no excuse now. Naruto can create thousands of shadow clones, I know." As he said this, Boruto closed his eyes and made up his mind. In the second test, I'm going to give them a scary form to seal with his hands. Shadow clone technique, bang 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 bang. Looking at the 4 shadow clones in front of him, Boruto lowered his hands again. 4 is still my limit, Ninja World. As Naruto-san, 4 shadow clones is the limit? Did Boruto inherit the Uzumaki bloodline? Sasuke is trying to fool Boruto, right? Naruto is a Jinchuriki, and he learned the forbidden technique of multiple shadow clones. How can Boruto's shadow clones compare to the Uchiha, who has always been the best at throwing techniques? Naruto wasn't very good at shadow clone at first, and he only used it suddenly because Iruka was in danger. Naruto's chakra is definitely incomparable to Boruto's. Even if it's just the shadow clone technique, the number must be quite large. Boruto did not inherit Naruto's shadow clone talent. Of course, fortunately, he did not inherit Kenji either. On screen, the second test is capture the flag. While guarding the flag on your own territory, you can also seize the flag of your opponent. In other words, this is both an offensive and defensive battle, 3 against 3. Half of the teams will be eliminated in this exam. In the picture, genins use their various abilities to eliminate other genins. Ninja World Lee's son was eliminated. The quality of this round of the Chunin exam is quite high. Konoha has really made a fuss about the Chunin exam, let alone taking the exam. Even going there for fun would be very interesting. Lee's son should still have a chance, right? Although it's very slim. Plant the flag back, and then snatch the flags of other teams. It's a pity that his opponent is Tsunaga Kyoshinki. That guy gives me the feeling of Gaara. Not everyone can deal with him. On screen, Shianshin folded his arms, looked at the surveillance screen in front of him and said, "Most of the competitions have ended. Only one group of competitions is still going on." Location of the exam: in an unfinished building. Mitsuki hid behind the wall, peeked out, and made a gesture to Sarada. Sarada ran quickly to the other side. Boruto's voice came into the headphones. "I am guarding the flag, just attack with confidence." Sarada jumped and came to a balcony. "We are counting on you, Boruto. If we want the 7th Hokage to see how strong we are, we must pass the second exam." The rooftop of an unfinished building. The other team's 3 Genin were hiding in the shadows. Boruto created 3 shadow clones to protect the flag in the middle. Looked around cautiously, hearing the voice coming from the headphones. He put his hands behind his back. "You don't need to remind me." After saying that, Boruto suddenly threw Kyune in 2 directions. Swish, ding. One of the Genin dodged the Kyune with a leap, while the other Genin blocked it. The next moment, 3 Genin came in front of Boruto. The attack didn't work. Surprising, right? Boruto's 5 shadow clones stood together, looking at the 3 Genin opposite them. 5-3, do you know who has the advantage? Hearing this, the 3 Genin stood up and looked at each other. Make a seal with both hands at the same time. Shadow clone technique, bang bang bang. Boruto was surprised to see the team of Genin standing in a row in front of him. The Genin held a sword behind his back and asked, "Who has the upper hand now?" The other side. Mitsuki's voice came from Sarada's headphones. "Sarada. Come on. I'll catch up with you right away." Boruto's side. Boom. Boruto's shadow clone was hit and disappeared in a puff of smoke. Hey, another shadow clone was hit by a slash from the Genin at the same time. His real body also flew backwards. The Genin team and a kind of shadow clone did not get entangled too much and rushed towards the red flag together. Boruto turned around and looked at their backs unwillingly. In his mind, images of the first exam and Naruto's email appeared. He seemed to have made a decision. The word water appeared on the high-tech ninja tool tied to the wrist. He held a scroll in his palm. Splashing water everywhere. Boom. The pupils of the 3 members of the Genin team shrank. He was blown away by the huge current of water. One of the Genin said in shock, "There is no water here, but his water escape technique is still so powerful." Chapter 429. Shame. At this moment, Boruto's figure jumped high and dived towards the Shinam team. He shook his wrist and held another small scroll in his hand. The next moment, lightning flashed in his hands. Bah! He threw the lightning into the water, and the three members of the Shinam team and the shadow clone suddenly stiffened. Bang bang bang! The many shadow clones they created exploded one after another. One of the candidates in the Shinam team was covered in smoke. He can also lightning release. As soon as he finished speaking, he fell into the water. Boruto landed steadily on the red flag and said into the headset, "I'm fine." Sarada, grab the flag. Sarada replied, "I'm doing it." As she spoke, she opened her eyes and a Magatama appeared in them. The flags that were set up by illusion around him began to dissipate. Sarada reached out and pulled out a flag that had not dissipated, and said excitedly, "We succeeded." Pure Land Minato sighed. Boruto still used the technological ninja tools. Kushina pursed her lips and said nothing. Ninja World a bit disappointed. He's Naruto's son. The ninjutsu released by this technological ninja tool is quite powerful. Never mind the unfair victory. The result is the most important. There is no rule that prohibits the use of high-tech ninja tools on the battlefield. This team of examinees is quite strong. It's a pity that they were eliminated here. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Boruto lowered his head in shame. He also knew that his past self was wrong. He used technological tools, which was unfair to other candidates, but then, he didn't know what he thought of, and his toes couldn't help but click on his ninja shoes. No way, the screen won't show that part. Right, on screen Mitsuki's figure fell in front of Boruto, who was slumped on the ground. I guess we managed it somehow. Boruto looked at Mitsuki's hand that he stretched out to him, smiled and let him pull him up. Yet, it's just a small matter, Mitsuki said to him. As expected, Boruto, you are a ninja who will eventually become Hokage. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Seeing this, Boruto pounded his head even lower. Mitsuki always trusts himself, but that time, I betrayed his trust. I'm sorry, Mitsuki. If he persists a little longer, maybe he could really resist those three ninjas with his own strength. If it was my father or Uncle Sasuke, they wouldn't use high-tech ninja tools even if they failed. On screen, just as Boruto was about to speak, Sarada's voice came. Sorry, but that was me, of course. I am talking about someone who wants to become Hokage. Boruto helplessly spread his hands towards Mitsuki, and room monitoring Tenten looked at Boruto on the surveillance camera and a smile appeared on his face. He's pretty good. I didn't even see him cast a seal. He's worthy of being the son of the 7th Hokage. Okay, that's 4 groups then. This exam is over. Thank you, Shino, you helped a lot. The door of the monitoring room, a ninja whispered into the headset. He passed the second exam. He used it in this round of exams. Got it. Did you get the video? Ninja said, I got it. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Boruto's head almost dropped to the ground. Neji couldn't help but smile a little, not to mention Tenten. Even if Naruto and Sasuke came, they wouldn't be able to see Boruto making hand seals. But the little tricks will definitely not be hidden from their eyes. Only Boruto was not clear about the true strength of Naruto and Sasuke. Rizu said softly, it is a great virtue to admit your mistakes and correct them. I believe you will not do such a thing again now. Boruto nodded vigorously and said to him seriously, from now on, I will rely on my own strength to deal with any crisis that arises. He should believe in himself. Ninja World. This Fangsuke, I kind of hate him, and his apprentice Takusase. Even though talents like him are extremely important to the development of Konoha and even the ninja world, there's a lot of glass. You don't want your father to know that you cheated on the exam, right? It's easy to change a country, but hard to change one's nature. Boruto is still Boruto. I'm sure Boruto will use high-tech ninja tools to cheat in the next exam. On screen. Got it? Sarada and Mitsuki high-fived. The following is the third exam, Boruto said lazily. Boruto. Sarada put her hands on her hips and moved closer to Boruto. This means, finally, the 7th Dame-sama is finally going to see how strong we are. Can't you be a little excited? Boruto pulled his head back as much as he could. I know. Sarada moved her head closer. I knew it. Boruto was stunned for a moment. Your eyes are a little bluer than those of the 7th generation. When Boruto heard Sarada's words, 2 blushes appeared on his face. Mitsuki, really? Boruto fled in panic. Sarada smiled and said, really? I'm sure, Mitsuki said to her, you are so caring. Next time, ask him to show you. The 7th master is a very kind person, he won't refuse. Boruto pouted. Screen turn. Naruto pursed his lips tightly and paced back and forth behind his desk. He took a deep breath. Dang dang dang. There was a knock on the door and Naruto jumped as the door opened a little. Naruto's serious voice sounded in the office. Yeah, is that so? Shikamaru smiled as he watched Naruto working hard. I was very impressed. Naruto randomly tapped the keyboard and asked, "What are you talking about?" Shikamaru smiled and said, "Of course I'm talking about Boruto's team. They passed the second exam." Naruto still typed on the keyboard with a serious face. "Passed? Haha, okay, see you later." With that, Shikamaru turned and left. Naruto stopped typing on the keyboard. "You came all this way just to say this?" Shikamaru stopped, turned around and looked at him and said, "Well, this news is very important. By the way, Shikade's team also passed through. We may see a fight between our sons." After saying that, Shikamaru left the office. After seeing the door closed, Naruto jumped up from his seat excitedly. "Fire Nation 7th generation, look at what you have accomplished. You don't seem to care, and you pretend to be serious." Unfortunately, Boruto didn't use his own strength. If Naruto knew that Boruto had to use high-tech ninja tools to pass the exam, he would probably be disappointed, right? Muai Village Hyuga clan. Boruto's head, which had just been raised, dropped again. "It feels like I will be criticized for the rest of my life because of cheating on an exam." Boruto lowered his head and picked at his ninja shoes with his toes. His shoes made a squeaking sound as he scratched them. "So, my father told me not to lose to Shikade because of this, but what happened after that must never be released." Chapter 430. Exactly the same. On screen turned. Sasuke looked at the huge instrument in front of him. "Does it take more time to crack it?" Naruto beside him apologized. "Sorry, I seem to be in trouble. I understand. I'll come back later." With that, Sasuke turned around and prepared to leave. Naruto suddenly said, "Sasuke, I heard you were training him." Sasuke asked, "Did Boruto tell you?" "No, it was Konohamaru who said that." Sasuke said, "I understand, maybe you were right. The ninja spirit is still the same." Sasuke walked outside. "I believe it." A smile appeared on Naruto's lips. "Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga clan." Boruto sighed. Pity? This time, the father was right. He failed to live up to the expectations and trust of his father and uncle. Sasuke on screen turned. Naruto's house. Boruto pushed the door open and back. Himori ran out to greet them, followed by Hinata. "Welcome back." When she ran to Boruto, Himori put her hands behind her back and said, "Congratulations, brother." Boruto put his hands on his hips and smiled. "I just passed the second exam. It's no big deal." Hinata asked with concern, "Are you hurt?" "I'm fine. But I'm tired, and I want to go back to my room. I don't want to eat either." With that said, Boruto walked upstairs. "Wait until you get back to the room." Boruto put the forehead protector aside, unzipped his clothes, and lay down on the bed. He raised his hand and looked at the technological ninja tool on his wrist, somewhat absent-mindedly. Dong dong dong. There was a knock on the door. Boruto quickly stood up and put on his shoes. "Hey. I said I don't want dinner." Having said this, he closed his eyes. The door opened and Naruto walked in. Dad? Naruto scratched his face. "So, I heard that you passed the second exam." Boruto responded. Right. Naruto didn't quite know what to say. Ninja World Man Naruto, aren't you familiar with Boruto? Exactly the same. Exactly the same as when my wife and I first met on a blind date. Could it be that Boruto has never experienced fatherly love since he can remember? Naruto should be able to recognize Boruto if they haven't seen each other for a long time. Of course, I'm not saying that Sarada and Sasuke don't look alike. At this time, it is up to Naruto, as a father, to take the initiative to ease the relationship. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga clan. Boruto's face turned pale. "No way. Do we really want to execute him publicly in front of everyone?" On screen Naruto picked up the photo frame on the table and looked at the photo of him and Boruto when they were children. Boruto lowered his head slightly and held his right wrist. "If you have nothing to do, can you leave?" Naruto remained silent in response to Boruto's distant attitude. You did a great job." After saying that, he put the photo frame back on the table and prepared to leave. Boruto suddenly asked, "You came here just to say this?" Naruto stopped. This is very important, very important." Boruto blinked but said nothing. Naruto seemed to remember something. "Oh, there is one more thing." What? Naruto walked up to Boruto and stretched out his fist. "Don't lose to Shikade." Boruto was stunned. He clenched his wrist, but did not extend his hand. He grinned at Naruto and said, "I will not lose." Naruto placed his fist against his chest. "I will watch you. See you later." Wait until Naruto leaves the room. Boruto murmured. If that's all he wanted to say, he could have sent an email. He reached out and clutched his chest. Looking at the photo frame with Naruto on the table, he clutched his chest tighter and tighter. Boruto laughed silently until tears came out. "Stupid dad." After saying that, he fell on the bed, kicking his legs excitedly. Pure Land Kushina's eyes were full of stars. Adorable grandson want to need. Minato had a smile on his face, but after thinking of a possibility, the smile on his face faded a little. Boruto now should not give up using high-tech ninja tools. If Boruto uses high-tech ninja tools in the third exam and is discovered by Naruto, by then, the rift between the father and son might become bigger and bigger. The more he thought about it, the less smile there was on Minato's face. Rain Country. Naruto grinned, revealing his 2 rows of small white teeth. His son who is older than me is so cute. It would be great if he could have such a lovely son in the future. Muai Village. Hyuga Clan. Hayashi couldn't help but laugh. Boruto's vision went dark. Uncle Sasuke, let's go back quickly. I am a little homesick, Niji asked hesitantly. Boruto, you're not really going to use high-tech ninja tools in the third exam, are you, Boruto? He nodded. The smile on Hayashi's face slowly disappeared. Niji asked again, you didn't hide it from Naruto, did you? Boruto nodded again. He must have been too excited, otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to find it. Right. Hayashi sighed. Niji closed his eyes. Knew it. The relationship between this father and son is really worrying. On screen. Hokage's office. Naruto held in his hands the piece of clothing he once wore. Then he looked out the window with a smile on his face. Ninja World. Those who truly care about Naruto are now worried about the relationship between this father and son. Naruto seems to be looking forward to Boruto's performance. I hope the things I've been worrying about won't happen. I really don't want Naruto to be disappointed in Boruto. There are already many misunderstandings between this father and son. It would be better if Boruto was stronger, so he wouldn't have to use high-tech ninja tools. Everyone in the ninja world is worried about the father-son relationship between Naruto and Boruto. On screen. Screen turn. The third Chunin exam scene. Countless people were pouring into this huge examination site after an unknown amount of time. The picture turned to the audience seats. Ninja World. I saw the Rakudame and Emperor Kai. As expected, these two are stuck together. Iruka is here too. To Iruka, Boruto is considered as junior, right? Sakura and Ino, they probably came here mainly to watch their children compete. I don't know if Inogen is very strong, but Sarada won't let Sakura down. Is this the 5 Kage of the new era? That Sasuke is so beautiful. Gaara's hairstyle, such messy hair, so shattered and shredded. Looking at Gaara's hairline, you can tell that his situation is not much better than Naruto's. On screen. Shikamaru behind Naruto said, it's time. Yes. In the field, the examiner of the third exam, Qiu Li, stepped forward and said to the 12 candidates below with a serious face, I believe you all know that the third exam consists of individual battles. You may face a teammate who is familiar with your abilities. You will have 3 exams, Group A, Group B and Group C. The winner will compete in a 3-person final. Are you ready? Chapter 431, Isn't it unreasonable? The candidates below shouted with determination, Alright. First match, Uzumaki Boruto vs Yoru. The third Chunin selection exam begins now. Challenger, take a step forward. Boruto and Yoru of Kumagakure walked forward and looked at each other. Qiu Li raised his arms. Boruto Uzumaki of Konoha Village and Yoru of Kumagakure Village. After making this announcement, he swung his arm downward violently. The first game begins. Boruto and Yoru, who was chewing bubble gum, looked at each other solemnly. They rushed towards each other at the same time and quickly engaged in fighting. Ding ding ding. Yoru, holding 2 daggers, did not take Boruto seriously. You'll be finished if you dive. Boruto blocked Yoru's short sword with a kunai and asked, during the dive, it means you will lose. Boruto grabbed Yoru's arm and said, just say it straight. Don't beat around the bush. Then I won't beat around the bush about this game. As Yoru finished speaking, the bubble gum in his mouth began to grow bigger and was blown into a blue bubble ball. Boruto took a few steps back. I won't let you go around. As he said that, Boruto used a kunai to split the bubble ball. Boom, smoke rose, and along with the sound of the explosion, Boruto's figure was blown away. Will it explode? After the smoke cleared, several bubble balls that were blown up just like before floated around Yoru, who was chewing bubble gum. Boruto suddenly felt like he was facing a formidable enemy. Yoru looked disdainful. Boruto floated towards somewhere in the audience. It is exactly the location of the 5 shadows. Naruto was sitting there too. He reached for the tool bag behind his waist and took out a shuriken. His mind went to what Naruto had said to him. Io did a great job. Boruto put the shuriken in his hand back, quickly grasped a small scroll with his right hand, and threw a green shuriken out of his hand. I won't lose here. The green shuriken flew around the suspended bubble ball and towards Yoru. Yoru took 2 steps back. I walked here. The shuriken should not be able to touch it. This idea just came to me. The green shuriken suddenly changed direction and flew towards the small bubble ball he blew out of his mouth. Boom. The bubble ball exploded on Yoru's face and his figure flew backwards in the auditorium. Sarada was surprised and asked, "How can he turn so well? Ninja World, you're surprised by what you've seen." Boruto also learned from Sasuke, so what's wrong with the shuriken's ability to bend more powerfully? In a time of crisis, as Naruto's son, what's wrong with creating a miracle? Isn't that unreasonable? Boruto's shuriken is not only good at turning, it can turn several times, avoiding obstacles and automatically chasing the enemy. The first opponent used a high-tech ninja tool. Can Naruto see it? After all, Boruto did it very secretly, and Naruto was so far away. Boruto also doesn't want to disappoint Naruto. Since he's Naruto's son, I can understand his behavior. This Kumagakure kid is very capable. No wonder he is so confident. If he doesn't underestimate that shuriken, it won't be easy to defeat him. On screen, Boruto walked towards Yoru, who was lying on the ground. "I'm sorry, but it looks like you died in the dive." Is your name Cherry? My name is Yoru." After saying this, Yoru fainted completely. Lee announced, "Winner. Uzumaki Boruto from Konoha village." There was a sudden cheer from the audience. Sunflower said excitedly, "He won. He won." The other side, Daru said to Naruto, "This kid is good." Naruto's mouth curled up obviously. He was also happy that Boruto was able to win. Ninja World, it seems that Naruto didn't see it. "Boruto, stop using high-tech ninja tools. Just accept your defeat, or else all this will be for nothing." From these cheers, I can hear that the audience loves Boruto. Just like me, because I admire and respect the future Naruto, I have always had a good impression of Boruto, even though what Boruto is doing right now is very unpopular. Naruto is sitting too far away. If it were me, I wouldn't even be able to see him. If Boruto is more discreet, he might not be discovered. It doesn't matter to me whether he cheated or not. I'm just afraid that after Boruto cheated and Naruto found out, the relationship between father and son will become more strained than before, and it will probably last for a long time. On screen, Sarada encouraged herself, "Okay. I want to win too." Screen turn, go to hell. Sarada punched Teru of Kumagakure into the wall in the auditorium. Sakura clenched her fists, looking excited. "Oh yeah." Next game, Qiu Li raised Mitsuki's arm. Behind it was Kumagakure Troy, lying on the ground motionless. Next game, Jojo Akimachi was defeated by Tsunagakure Shinki. Next, Uzumaki Boruto vs Nara Shikide. Qiu Li announced, "The 7th game begins." In the auditorium, Naruto stood up and wanted to watch the fight between Boruto and Shikide. Suddenly, he froze. Shadow clone. In the field, Boruto was hiding from Shikide's shadow. Ninja World, that Shiki is really strong. Boruto's two teammates are not weak either. By the way, are you sure this isn't Konoha's doing? The first 3 were all Konoha candidates defeating Kumagakure candidates. It's over. Naruto has been watching the fight carefully. Boruto is about to be exposed. It would be too embarrassing if Naruto exposed you. Just leave a gift for Konoha and then defect from Konoha. Lots of glass. Naruto didn't take the previous Kumagakure candidates seriously, but Naruto Shikide has always taken it very seriously, using the shadow clone to push himself and his original body to the sides to avoid the shadow's pursuit. This father and son are really good at using the shadow clone. On screen, Boruto leaped into the air and found an opportunity, punching Shikide. Shikide ducked to avoid the attack with his hands and seals, and Boruto took advantage of the situation and slapped him with his palm, but the palm stopped in mid-air. The ground around Shikide was shrouded in darkness, and all of Boruto's shadow clones, including his original body, were trapped inside and unable to move. Bang bang bang. The shadow clones exploded one after another, leaving only Boruto's real body not far behind him. Shikide shrunk the shadow to the point where it could only control Boruto's body. Seeing Boruto struggling, Shikide said to him, "It would be better if you give up as soon as possible." Boruto's mouth suddenly curled up into a smile. 5 small scrolls fell from his sleeves to the ground. Bang bang bang. The small scroll transformed into dense shadow clones that surrounded Lute. Seeing this scene, Shikide decisively threw away the kunai in his hand and raised his hands. "I abstain." Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan Ningxi hesitated to speak. He thought Naruto had seen through the clues, but he didn't expect that it was Boruto himself who revealed the truth. "Ninja World, is Boruto hiding from me? Wow, you created so many shadow clones. Boruto really isn't afraid of being exposed at all." People who are familiar with him can see the problem right away. If he hadn't only created 4 shadow clones before and said that this was his limit, I might have believed it. Naruto's son's chakra is not surprising. Is he trying to trick Naruto into thinking he's Kenji? If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. we warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 432 Unable to Step Down. On screen in the auditorium, Shikade's biological mother Temari couldn't help laughing when she saw this scene. Ino held her forehead with one hand. Sakura said softly, "Isn't this scene very familiar?" The other side Fangzhu whispered, "It will be our turn to go on stage soon." The bald man holding the camera next to him said, "That little idiot used it quite well without being exposed." The five-caged Shikamaru shrugged with his hands in his pockets. Naruto looked a little serious not far from him. Hinata looked at him with some worry. "I wonder why my husband had this expression when he saw Boruto win." The sunflowers beside her clapped happily. The other side Sarada stared at Boruto below in a daze. "Marvelous." Downward Qiu Li announced. "He advanced to the finals." Boruto cheered. "Yes." In the auditorium Naruto looked at the excited Boruto below, a little absent-minded. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Boruto looked at himself on the screen and pouted. "It's too early to be happy." Ningxi was a little puzzled. It turns out that only Naruto discovered the clues. Hayashi shook his head and explained, "Because we are standing at a different perspective from the audience, we can see that Boruto uses high-tech ninja tools. Otherwise, if he doesn't use the Byakugan, he won't suspect anything." Ningxi nodded in understanding. "I understand. If I were also a spectator, I would probably just sigh and say, 'You are indeed Naruto's son.'" Boruto clutched his chest with tears in his eyes. "Heartache. Is this implying that he has low chakra amount?" Hiruno family. Sakura laughed. This scene will indeed be very familiar to my future self." Pure Land. Azuna was speechless. Even Hinata and Sarada don't know Boruto's chakra amount. On screen Hinata walked up to Naruto and asked, "What's wrong, dear?" Naruto turned his head to look at her. "Hinata, use your Byakugan to check Boruto's hand." Hinata was startled. "Screen turn. The decryption equipment is in operation," the operator said to Sasuke. "We decoded these from the scroll." Sasuke said, "It seems that my suspicion is correct." The operator asked, "Any questions?" Sasuke turned and left. Naruto must be informed immediately. "Unfortunately, we have to postpone the exam." Screen turn. Hinata looked at Boruto using her Byakugan. Naruto asked, "How is it?" "It's some kind of ninja tool. It seems to be on his arm." "Is it?" Naruto didn't answer her. He jumped and left the audience. Daru asked in confusion, "What happened to the Hokage?" Hitu, who was sitting next to him, smiled and said, "He is proud of his son. He couldn't help but run out. He is really a doting father." Downward. Boruto heard the voice behind him, turned around, and when he saw it was Naruto, he immediately ran over. A glimmer of hope flashed across his eyes. "Dad, did you see that?" Boruto stretched out his fist and said, "The following is the final round." Naruto slowly extended his hand. He pinched his wrist and shook his hand gently, and Boruto's sleeve slid down a little, revealing the technological ninja tool inside. Naruto asked, "What is this?" Boruto glanced at the technological ninja tool, rolled his eyes, and finally looked at Naruto. "This is..." Naruto let go of his hand and said, "During the competition, it is forbidden to use these things. Using ninja tools instead of using your own chakra goes against the purpose of the Chunin exam to train ninjas." After that, he looked at Lee. Uzumaki. "Boruto has been disqualified. Please change the winner to Nara Shikade." Ninja World. "What a doting father he is." That's Naruto's character. He won't show favoritism or cheat just because he's his son. He is truly impartial. Obviously, if I just pretend I know nothing, I can ease the relationship with Boruto. If I pretend to be happy because Boruto beat Shikade, that son dear Boruto will definitely be closer to him and more willing to understand him. Pure Land. Tobirama narrowed his eyes. The scroll has finally made a major discovery. On screen in the audience stage Fangzhu pressed his hands hard on the iron railing. "He's exposed. We can only act now." After saying that, he ran to the side. On the screen, Nara Shikade's name lit up. Boruto Uzumaki was disqualified for using illegal ninja tools. Therefore, the winner is Shikade Nara. In the auditorium Hito was a little bit unbelievable. He's not kidding, is he? "So, what is it like to have an idiot son who does whatever he wants in the name of shadow?" Sarada was also in disbelief. "Are you kidding me?" "Boruto," Mitsuki murmured, "when did he have that?" The other side Himori turned to look at Hinata. "What happened to my brother? Did he do something wrong?" Hinata gently held her in her arms. "Boruto." Off the field. Naruto took off the forward protector on Boruto's head. "You are disqualified for not following the rules." After that, he placed his hands on Boruto's shoulders. "Come with me. We are still taking the exam. We will talk later." Boruto shook Naruto's hand away. "Later? Can you spare some time?" Father, if you had taught me these rules before, Boruto closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, he shouted to Naruto, I won't be in this situation now. Naruto lowered his eyes. Ninja World Boruto actually knows that this is wrong. Not only that, Boruto's personality is also closely related to Naruto. He has a father but cannot feel his love. But there is nothing we can do about it, since Naruto is the Hokage. Although this is an inevitable result, the most important thing is that Naruto embarrassed Boruto in front of so many people. How many kids of this age don't care about their reputation? Naruto could have criticized Boruto in private and promoted Shikage to Chunin. On screen at this time Fangzu came over, followed by the bald man carrying a camera. He's right. We are very disappointed that Boruto can't win, Master Nanadame. To be honest, I wanted to announce it after who wins. Boruto looked at the two. Fangzu ignored Boruto and turned to the audience behind him and said loudly, everyone, listen. Boruto used a high-tech ninja tool. Although it is forbidden to use it here, it is undeniable that it was the high-tech ninja tool that allowed him to get here. Naruto frowned and said, Fangzu. Fangzu continued to speak to the audience. So, the 5 Kage and everyone from each village are the audience to show the perfection of this technological ninja tool, and, Pure Land the corner of Ben's mouth twitched. What does this guy want to do? Sell his own technological ninja tools to other ninja villages? What kind of behavior is this? Izune held her forehead with her hand. Is he stupid or a spy from another village? He thought that anyone who could develop technological ninja tools would be very smart. Chapter 433 Enough Life? Ninja World. Although the future is peaceful, it is not our village after all. What's the difference between doing this and aiding the enemy? I kind of hate idiots. Even though Fangsuk has made a lot of contributions to the progress of the ninja world, the enemy is coming. At this time, on screen, Boom Jinshi's figure landed not far behind Fangzu. Naruto protected Boruto. Get behind me, quickly. Qiu Li and Lu Tai looked alert. Fangzu walked forward dissatisfiedly and shouted, Hey, what are you guys doing? Country of Earth Iwagakurt Tsuchikage building Dieter aside. Fangzu is a real warrior. If I hadn't read Boruto and Yumai's stories before, I would have thought this guy was dead. On screen Naruto reminded, don't get close to them. 5 red chakra flames appeared from Jinshi's fingertips and slapped towards the ground. Kachu. Boom! The huge Chunin exam venue was instantly destroyed by Kinshiki's attack. The huge rock above collapsed, and Sakura punched it. The wind from her fist alone was enough to smash the huge rock falling on her head into pieces. Our primary goal is to prevent damage behind her. Temari nodded seriously. The 2 figures flashed and disappeared on the spot. Qiu Li hugged Lu Tai's body and avoided the rubble, but the rubble above their heads fell down on them again. Just then, a cloud of sand blocked the rubble for them and the surrounding civilians. Kankuro used chakra threads to pull the 2 villagers to his side. Kakashi also hugged the 2 villagers and brought them to a safe place. Dare used one hand to support a huge rock and saved a villager who was about to be hit. Mitsuki protected a little girl and said to Sarada, this child is the only one left. Sarada said, take good care of her, I will check again. The next moment, a huge rock fell. Sarada, who thought she would be hit by a huge rock, opened her eyes and was surprised to find herself in Sasuke's arms, far away from her just now position. Seeing this scene, Mitsuki breathed a sigh of relief. Then he looked down at the trembling little girl, hugged her, and left this dangerous place in a flash. Ninja World. Sakura's punch was so cool. From a common ninja to this point, Sakura's story is actually very inspiring. I believe it now. The 5 major ninja villages seem to be really united. They are actually helping Konoha to save civilians. Garo has saved more people than everyone else combined. Tsuneko is such a handy ability. Strange, Mitsuki's strength has never been revealed on the screen, but he gives me a very strong illusion. According to my feeling, if we rank the strength, Mitsuki is the strongest, followed by Sarada, and finally Boruto. When we beat these 2 guys later, Gaara will mix some urine into the sand to make it heavier and stronger. Maybe we can gain the upper hand. On screen Midori Momoshiki opened his Byakugan. I can see the fox with my white eyes downward. Naruto said to Boruto, it's very dangerous here, gather with everyone. Before he could finish his words, Momoshiki suddenly appeared behind him and kicked him away. Naruto's body went straight through the wall of the examination room, made a loud bang sound, and flew out of the examination room. Boruto stared blankly at Momoshiki's figure landing beside him. The other side Dad, Sasuke, who was hugging Sarada, said, you don't look injured. As soon as he finished speaking, Jinshiki's figure flashed and appeared beside him, raising the axe and chopping down at him and Sarada. This is to revenge last time. Boruto here. Momoshiki didn't even look at Boruto, as if he was air, and walked straight past him. Boruto didn't dare to stand up and just watched Momoshiki walk past him. At this moment, a flash of lightning appeared. Momoshiki stopped and looked back at Boruto, who was trembling with his arms raised. Ninja World. Although I don't know how strong this guy is after using all his strength, he kicked Naruto so far away with one kick, and his speed was also very incredible. He should be even stronger than that burly guy, right? If it were me, I would definitely not have the courage to attack him. How dare you attack the enemy in this situation? Boruto's courage exceeds that of most of the candidates. I feel like Marajin, who has absorbed the chakra of all the ninja world, can't even stand up to these two guys. How can it be possible to use such rubbishes technological ninja tools to deal with a guy that even the chakra founder is afraid of? At this time, we can only rely on our own hard power. Will Naruto and Sasuke be a match for these two guys? Will the 5 Kage plus Sasuke team up to beat these two guys away? Although they appear to be passively taking the beating, Naruto and Sasuke haven't really taken action yet. This may be the most serious fight they've made since the battle at the Valley of the End. On screen Boruto roared, and a ball of fire spurted out from his ninja tool, attacking Momoshiki. Momoshiki stretched out his palm and absorbed the flames. Boruto gritted his teeth. Water jutsu, lightning jutsu, and Rasengan poured out from the technological ninja tools one by one, but were still easily absorbed by Momoshiki. Seeing Momoshiki walking towards him, Boruto took 2 steps back in fear. At this moment, Naruto suddenly appeared behind Momoshiki and punched him. Momoshiki dodged easily, and Naruto kicked her again, causing Momoshiki to step back, taking advantage of this opportunity. Naruto picked up Boruto and flew away. Just as Momoshiki was about to move, his body was restrained by a black shadow, including Kinshiki on the other side, who was also restrained. The axe in his hand stopped above Sasuke's head. Pure Land Tobirama's expression was extremely solemn, so powerful. Danzo looked at the Rinnegan in Momoshiki's hand, his eyes full of greed. If I had such a powerful force, Fire Nation, are the 5 Kage really a match for these two guys? Even if Sasuke can dodge it with his heavenly hands in the end, it proves how fast that guy is. Although these two guys have been restrained by the shadow of the advisor, one of them has the ability to absorb ninjutsu. Shikaku's mouth twitched. Mr. Advisor, right now. Shikamaru is just a little kid. It's kind of weird to hear a ninja calling his son advisor. Is this completely immersed in the plot of the future story? Moai Village. Hiruno family. Sakura breathed a sigh of relief after seeing Sasuke carrying Sarada away. Her pale face regained some color. It was so thrilling just now. Sarutobi clan. Cold sweat broke out on Sarutobi Hiruzen's face. I am an old man. Suddenly I felt like I had lived enough. Chapter 434. Change 1. On screen Sasuke carried Sarada to Naruto and Boruto. Naruto asked with concern, Boruto, are you okay? It's okay. How are you? Opposite the 4 persons mortal, the Rinnegan in Momoshiki's palm lit up with a red light, absorbing Shikamaru's shadow completely. Shikamaru knelt on the ground with the body carried by the shadow. Absorbed, Teoshiki said. Jinshiki. Jinshi responded, yes. As he spoke, Momoshiki's figure floated into the air. Jinshi also put away the red axe and followed closely behind. Downward. Sasuke said, we can't use our strength here, it will affect everyone. It seems that I am their target. I am here to track them. Naruto turned his attention to the 2 people in mid-air. Who are you? Country of Earth. Iwagakure. Deidara blinked. He had a premonition. Next he will see a very artistic scene. Ninja World. Hiss. Familiar. So familiar. This is to leave a gift? Shikamaru's shadow isn't very strong after all. On screen Kinshiki said, my name is Otsutsuki Kinshiki. This is Lord Otsutsuki Momoshiki. Naruto asked, what do you want from me? We need to gather the scattered chakras into a fruit, and then complete the mission that Kaguya-sama has not completed on this land. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. According to this scroll, these guys came back to snatch the chakra fruit, so Kaguya gathered an army of white Zetsu, Fire Nation Princess Kaguya? Could it be that Kaguya is a princess in their Otsutsuki clan? He respectfully addresses Momoshiki as sir, but his tone is so bland when addressing Kaguya, and he even tries to steal Kaguya's fruit. A princess shouldn't be treated like this, right? Maybe her status is similar to Momoshiki's. If Kaguya's status is higher than Momoshiki's, they probably won't come to snatch Kaguya's fruit. According to the Hyuga in the village, Kaguya and Momoshiki should be the main family, while Kinshiki is obviously just a branch family. The Otsutsuki clan seems to be quite strong. On screen first it was Kaguya-sama, and then this. What are they going to do with the chakra fruit? Sasuke explained, they plan to use it to make pills. Pill, it's medicine. Madara. Momoshiki held a red pill. Yes, as long as we have this, we will be eternally young, immortal, and unstoppable, you pathetic, incompetent humans. Unless you keep training, without sleep or rest, you will achieve nothing. Look, as long as I have this pill, immediately, without any effort, so easily, I can gain real power. Ninja world, I want to eat, too. Any chance I can steal one from their pockets and try it, damn it. Why is it so easy for the Akatsuki to become stronger? It would be great if I also had the blood of the Akatsuki. How can I rely on a power that I didn't cultivate myself? Pure Land. Madara sneered disdainfully. This method of improving your strength has already determined your fate. On screen downward, Boruto lowered his eyes and looked at the technological ninja tool on his wrist. Naruto retorted, stop kidding. That's not real power. Momoshiki looked down at him. Low-level creatures like you won't understand. Jinshi beside him asked, what are you going to do? I don't want to get my clothes dirty, but I have to do it. I have to prepare this oil and make it beautiful. After saying that, Momoshiki swallowed the pill in his hand, slowly stretched out a hand, and a powerful force burst out from the Rinnegan in the palm of his hand. And the technique I got earlier, looking at the huge chakra ball in the air and the 5 types of jutsu suspended around it, Naruto's face looked solemn. Sarada's legs went limp and she collapsed to the ground. No. Chapter 435 Change 2. A huge shadow covered the entire Chunin exam venue. Boruto looked at Sarada, gritted his teeth, and created a shadow clone to block her behind him. Madara. Momoshiki waved his hand. A blazing flame transformed into a fire phoenix and attacked downwards. Useless efforts. Boom! The wall of the venue was blown open. Naruto's shadow clones dispersed to various locations in the examination room to protect the civilians. A fox head formed by chakra emerged, staring at the two people in mid-air with a fierce expression. Boruto and Sarada looked around in confusion. What's this? After saying that, he saw Naruto standing in front of him. Boruto was stunned. I didn't know my father had such power. Seeing that the flame with terrifying power was blocked by Naruto, the ninjas of the Fire Country finally breathed a sigh of relief. Fire Nation, haha. You finally know how strong Naruto is. Now you know that not everyone can be Hokage, right? Is Akatsuki so great? Beat this bastard up. How dare he deny everything about ninja? If they have the same strength, the ninja will definitely be 10,000 times stronger than this shit Akatsuki. Don't be too optimistic. That was just a random attack from Akatsuki. Momoshiki. This is just the beginning. On screen, Momoshiki waved his arm again. Attacks from thunder, water, and earth followed one after another. Boom boom boom. Downward, Sasuke held out his hand. If your main body can't hold on, we're done. As soon as he finished speaking, the purple Susanoo covered the fox's head. Thanks, Sasuke. Boom! A fireball hit the disguised Susanoo, but was easily defended. Madara. Ha 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 ha. Momoshiki's arms kept swinging downwards, and each swing was accompanied by an extremely powerful attack downward. The Konoha ninjas are organizing the audience to escape from here. Looking towards the Chunin exam venue from here, a tornado accompanied by thunder and lightning swept through the venue. The sky was covered with dark clouds. They were not far away and could clearly feel the terrifying power. The top of the powerful Susanoo was struck by lightning, and then blown open by the strong wind, almost blowing Boruto inside out. The head of the mighty Susanoo has become broken. A wind blade leaked in and scraped a cut on Boruto's shoulder. Ninja world, I couldn't even block the disguised Susanoo. I even felt very vulnerable under Momoshiki's attack. This time, Naruto and Sasuke have really met a strong enemy. The Akatsuki are so scary. It's useless even if we gather the ninja coalition. Even if we tie them together, they won't be able to stop Akatsuki. Momoshiki, can you let me experience the infinite Tsukuyomi before I die? Please. Naruto and Sasuke just can't use their full strength here, otherwise it will destroy this place, and the civilians who haven't run far will also suffer. Menma only left a gift for Konoha, but I doubt these two Akatsuki can leave a gift for the entire ninja world. This is a terrible ninja world. These two bastard outsiders. Madara, this strike is the end. But you can't die, fox. As Momoshiki swung his arm down, the chakra ball above his head, which exuded terrifying power, fell downward. See this? Naruto lowered his palm. Sasuke, take good care of them both. The two looked at each other and understood each other's thoughts. Sasuke nodded and said, I understand. After he finished speaking, he stood in front of Boruto and Sarada, with purple chakra appearing on his body. Boruto and Sarada shouted anxiously at the same time, Uncle, Dad. Naruto clasped his hands together. Let's go. Kurako. You better keep your figure in shape. Sealed space. Kyuubi clasped his hands together. Don't be silly, I'm always ready, Naruto roared, and the shadow clones in the venue burst into chakra. 9 chakra tails emerged from the venue and tightly wrapped the chakra ball. Chapter 436 Change 3. The 9 tails raised its hands and tried to stop the chakra ball from continuing to fall. Boom! The ground beneath his feet was crushed, and Naruto gritted his teeth and held on finally. Several rays of white light overflowed from the wrapped orange chakra. Boruto stared blankly at Naruto's back. In his mind, the words Sasuke once said to him came to mind. Listen. He is full of weaknesses and is completely useless, but he relies on his own strength and improves bit by bit. You don't need to understand what Naruto is like now. What you need to know is the Naruto who has become who he is along the way. Boruto looked at Naruto in front of him and turned around and smiled at him. Dad. Boom. Pure Land, where is the most? Cushion, screamed. Minato's heart suddenly tightened. Although I knew that nothing would happen to Naruto, I still felt worried. Tobirama seemed to have thought of something, and his frown relaxed slightly. Naruto will not die, and this crisis will be overcome. But, after all, this incident obviously happened before Wuming. But, how should Naruto and Sasuke deal with such an enemy? Can they really stop these two? Akatsuki, Ninja World. Naruto, you won't even have the chance to use your full strength, right? Naruto is still making jokes about the Kyuubi's body at this time. Kenji is really generous. I believe Naruto has the ability to deal with this attack, but I didn't expect that he would take it head on to protect the village. On screen, Boruto slowly opened his eyes. You're awake. Hearing Sarada's voice, Boruto sat up. Is this a hospital? Mitsuki explained. Everyone was sent here, and the 7th generation protected us all. I see. So is everyone safe? As soon as Boruto finished speaking, he heard Himawari's voice. Mother. Boruto was stunned. Zainoke. Boruto quickly got out of bed and ran towards the source of the sound. Sakura's voice reached his ears. Hinata, it's me. Can you hear me? Boruto finally found Hinata's bed. Sakura is using medical ninjutsu to treat Hinata. Mother. Sakura comforted her softly. It's okay. She will be fine. Boruto asked worriedly. What happened to Mom? Sakura explained. She rushed forward. Boruto asked anxiously. Why would she do such a stupid thing? She wants to bring Naruto back. Boruto was stunned when he heard Sakura's words. Dad, Ninja World, the enemy is so powerful. Why are you rushing in? Oh, so you want to bring Naruto back? Hinata, you are the most ideal candidate for a wife I have ever seen. Too reckless. If anything happens to Hinata, it will be the biggest blow to Naruto. Naruto has been taken away? Doesn't that mean Naruto can finally go all out? He and Sasuke must have put up with those two guys for a long time. On screen in the Chunin exam venue, the pieces of Naruto's clothes were blown away by the wind. The perspective gradually moves upward. The former meeting place has now turned into a big pit inside the hospital. Mitsuki stepped forward and tried to comfort Boruto. Unexpectedly, as soon as he stretched out his hand, Boruto suddenly rushed out. Along the way, he passed through countless injured people. As he ran out of the hospital, he tripped over a medical box. Just as Boruto was about to get up, he saw the technological ninja tool on his wrist. Instead of taking it off, he forcefully pulled the high-tech ninja tool off his wrist. The technological ninja tool was thrown aside, and Boruto didn't even look at it again, just walked forward in silence. Sasuke picked up the high-tech ninja tool and looked at Boruto's distraught back, wondering what he was thinking. Chapter 437 Change 4. Somewhere in the ninja world, Kakashi said with emotion, in fact, human growth is a matter of moments. It has nothing to do with age, but with experience. Fire Nation. After this experience, Boruto will understand Naruto. Once this crisis is over, Boruto and Naruto's relationship will be much better. The crisis should have passed in the end, and the 7th Hokage has been living well ever since. But in addition to Momoshiki and Kin, there will be another Akatsuki coming to the ninja world. Hiss, that's right. There are 3 guys that the Chakra Ancestor created the army to deal with. On screen, Boruto walked into Naruto's office. In my mind, I recalled what I had said when Dad was a child. Grandpa Hokage wasn't even alive, so I guess Dad is lucky. He never has to experience the joy of having a parent around. Why is my dad the Hokage? He just sits behind a desk all day and points fingers. Anyone can do that. Boruto walked over to Naruto's desk. On the table was a photo frame of Class 7, and next to the frame was the clothes he had thrown out of the window. Boruto picked up the dress. The smile Naruto showed him at the last moment appeared in his mind. Boruto used his fingertips to tightly grasp the dirty clothes in his hand and looked at the photo of Naruto wearing the clothes. Boruto put the garment on himself and walked to a full-length mirror. I looked at myself in the mirror for a long time. I really suck. Ninja World. Boruto was a little immature before, but learning to reflect his progress and growth. Sasuke won this time. And the spirit of a ninja will never change. Okay, I admit that I spoke for Boruto before simply because he is Naruto's son. If he were the son of the 6th or 3rd Hokage and did something like cheating in the Chunin exam, I wouldn't say a word for him. Boruto is actually very good. He is a good teammate. Sarada and Mitsuki both recognize him and follow him. Even Orochimaru's son Mitsuki is like a caring and good wife. He is still a good brother. I have always seen how much he dotes on Sunflower. He is a good son to Hinata. He just doesn't understand his father. You are right. As the voice sounded, Sasuke walked in. During the exam, everyone blamed you. You were stripped of your forward protector, and now you can't even call yourself a ninja. Plus, you made your sister cry. Your mother is injured and your father is missing. If your sister didn't still love you and your mother didn't still worry about you, you would be just like your father in the past. Sasuke walked behind Boruto, looked at the clothes on Boruto, and asked, "So, what are you going to do, my father?" Boruto turned around and looked at Sasuke. "How did my father do it? It seems that you are interested in more than just his weaknesses. You can ask Naruto yourself. I am going to save him. I can sense his chakra." "That means he is still alive?" Boruto asked in a low voice. "Uncle Sasuke, why are you still caring about me? You are actually a very powerful ninja." "I lost to him, but you can surpass him." Boruto was stunned for a moment, obviously not expecting Sasuke to say that. He asked, "How do you know?" Sasuke said, "You are his son, and my eldest disciple, right? Moreover, you are now more defeated than he has ever been before." "Failure? Doesn't this mean?" Sasuke smiled faintly. "I mean, you hate failure." Chapter 438 Change 5. Boruto was startled then. A confident smile appeared on his face at this moment. A voice came from the office door. "Have you forgotten us?" The two looked over when they heard the sound. It's foreshadows. The one who just spoke was Chijiro, who was holding the double swords. Tatedaru said, "We can't forget the Hokage. It will damage the reputation of our 5 Kage." Kuratsuchi also said, "Let's go." Boruto took 2 steps forward. "Wow. 5 Kage?" Gar looked at him and smiled. "It feels like the days when Naruto was by my side. I can feel my power rising." Sasuke walked up to Boruto, but there's still something missing. After that, he handed his forward protector to Boruto. "This is Fire Nation." "That's great." Boruto has begun to understand his father. Only when you lose something will you realize how precious it is. Compared to the crisis in the ninja world, what worries you more is the relationship between the 7th Hokage and his son. Boruto seems to be more confident than Naruto was when he was a teenager. On screen on the rooftop of the Hokage building, Sasuke opened his 6th Magatama Samsara eyes. A black and purple space portal appeared in front of them. This Rinnegan can only send a limited number of ninjas to chase them. 4 shadows jumped into the portal one after another. In the end, only Boruto and Sasuke were left. Just as Boruto was about to go in, Hinata and others finally arrived in a hurry. Boruto turned around. Sakura supported Hinata, and Sarada and Mitsuki were beside her mother. Boruto took out the forward protector Sasuke gave him and put it on his forehead. At this moment, in Hinata's eyes, he seemed to have become what Naruto once was. Hinata's eyes widened slightly. She already knew Boruto's determination. Boruto said firmly, "I want to go." After saying that, he grinned at her. That smile is very much like Naruto's former self. Sasuke's lips curled up. "You finally demanded of yourself like a ninja. Let's go." With that, Sasuke walked into the portal. "Sarada, Mitsuki, take care of everyone." After giving the instructions, Boruto turned around and followed Sasuke. Hinata spoke softly. "Boruto, take good care of your father." Shikamaru couldn't help but smile a bit just as he let his guard down. 2 figures quickly scurried into the portal. Then, the portal closed completely. Shikamaru frowned. "It's them. Ninja world." Does Hinata trust Boruto so much? With Boruto's current strength, how can he take good care of Naruto? He can't even protect himself. Boruto's smile is already half as warm as Naruto's. He is worthy of being the protagonist of the new era to come. What can be searched and entered? Shikamaru knows these 2 shadowy figures. Who are they? What is their purpose in going in? As expected, the 5 Kage plus Sasuke are beating up to Akatsuki, the 5 Kage of the new era. I wonder how strong the other 3 Kage are besides Naruto and Gaara? Even if they are not as good as Naruto and Sasuke, their abilities must be pretty good. On screen in a different space, Naruto was tied to a huge, slightly dry tree trunk, and Momoshiki was using the Rinnegan in his palm to continuously absorb the chakra in his body. At some point, Momoshiki stopped Naruto, who was sweating profusely, took a few breaths and said weakly, "You have to understand, we ninjas will not be deprived of our power easily." Momoshiki suddenly looked up above, 4 figures emerged. Let's go. Gaara fired several sand bullets in the direction of Momoshiki and Kinshiki. Momoshiki and Kinshiki disappeared from in front of Naruto in a flash, avoiding Gaara's sand bullets. Boruto cut the vines tied to Naruto, and Sasuke caught Naruto, who was falling below. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 439 Change 6. Pure Land finally reached. Kushina wiped away her tears. Naruto screamed when his chakra was extracted just now. Was so miserable. Minato breathed a sigh of relief. Next, it is up to the 5 Kage to work together to deal with this crisis in the ninja world. On screen simultaneously, the 4 shadows surrounded Kinshiki and Momoshiki. Don't think you can get rid of us. Momoshiki stretched out his hand. Low-level animals. Boom. The other side. Sasuke. Naruto looked at Boruto again. You're here too? Why are you wearing this dress? Sasuke explained. Something happened, and he is already a ninja. After saying that, he disappeared in a flash. Naruto looked at Boruto at the moment and said with a smile, I feel like I am looking at my own shadow clone. Boruto lowered his head and smiled and asked, do I look at least a little cool? Cooler than ever. Boruto sat down cross-legged. So, you have always been paying attention to me. Naruto was silent for a moment, then lowered his head in self-blame. I'm sorry, for everything that happened before. From now on, Boruto interrupted. It's fine now. Naruto looked up at him in surprise. Because when you can take the time to spend with me instead of preaching. I want to hear your past stories. Naruto's eyes were filled with relief. Certainly, Ninja World, come find me. I'll let my daughter tell you the story of Naruto. Except for his hairstyle, Boruto is really cut from the same mold as Naruto. If Boruto grows up and shaves his head, he might really become Naruto's shadow clone. I can't tell if your color now, but even in these tattered clothes, you have an air of nobility that Naruto didn't have when he was a kid. Naruto didn't participate in this battle at all, did he? On screen the other side, Sasuke and Kinshiki were fighting. Chijiro slashed at him with his sword, and Kinshiki jumped high up, raised his axe and chopped at Chijiro below. Ding ding. Hey, Chijiro was hit on the chest with an axe. You should worry about yourself. Hearing this, Chijiro's lips curled up. You should be worried, you low level. Before he could finish his words, Kurotsuchi suddenly emerged from the ground and used the super-weighted rock technique to punch him in the chest, sending him flying. After crashing into a few trees, Kinshiki flew into the air, and Sasuke appeared behind him, slashing his red axe with a knife, breaking his axe as soon as Jinshu landed on the ground. Several beams of light pierced his joints, pulling out fish bones. Bone-breaking technique, he deformed seals with his hands and sprayed lime from his mouth. Melting escape. Lime coagulation technique, the lime quickly solidified into cement, firmly fixing the gold statue. Country of Earth Iwagakure Tsuchikage building. Unoki looked relieved. She is worthy of being his granddaughter. Not bad, not bad. You played in the style of our Iwagakure. Deidara curled his lips and said, this Otsutsuki Kinshiki is not that good. Unoki, watch a live broadcast. This is for you. Deidara rubbed his chin. It's not that he's simply not that good, it just gives me a feeling of being strong yet not that good. How should I put it? The Otsutsuki don't seem as strong as I thought. Except for Naruto and Sasuke, they are not invincible. On screen Kurotsuchi said to Sasuke, let's hold him back. Sasuke's figure flashed and rushed towards Momoshiki's position. The other side Daru held up a big sword, and every time he landed, a ball of sand would appear under his feet, allowing him to use the force to continue chasing Momoshiki. Ding, ding. Daru's knife slashed at Momoshiki, but was blocked by the black stick in Momoshiki's hand. Chapter 440 Change 7. At this time Naruto arrived. Sorry, we are late. Naruto formed a seal with his hands. Sasuke reminded loudly. Naruto, don't use ninjutsu on them. Soon, Momoshiki could no longer dodge and landed on a huge tree trunk. Naruto, Sasuke, Daru, and Gaara fell around him and surrounded him. Sasuke pointed the Kusanagi sword at Momoshiki and said, you can absorb ninjutsu and then release it. Right? It's the same as those toys in the Tech Ninja tool set. Daru put the sword on his shoulder and said, so we have to use physical skills. Momoshiki frowned and looked around unhappily. Fire Nation Shikaku fell into deep thought. The ability of Otsutsuki Momoshiki seems to be to absorb ninjutsu, enhance it, and then release it. Muai Village Hokage building. It seems that it is right to let the tribesmen train in physical skills with Mr. Kai. Fugaku sighed only. The fact that some tribesmen started wearing green tights made him feel a little uncomfortable. Ninja World, the situation is very good. It seems that the 5 Kage of the new era are very powerful. At this level, it seems that even immortal techniques can be absorbed, and only physical techniques can be used. On screen the controlled Jinchiki murmured, "Lord Momoshiki." Then he began to struggle hard. Kuratsuchi and Shijiro looked stern as they quickly tightened their control up. The cement that bound Kinshiki broke, and he swung his arms hard, sending Kuratsuchi and Shijiro flying the other side. Momoshiki's black stick and Sasuke's Kusanagi sword collided. The corners of his mouth suddenly curled up behind them. Jinshi controlled the red weapon and attacked them. The red weapon easily cut through the surrounding vines. Jinshi fell beside Momoshiki and swung the big knife in his hand. A gust of wind blew several people away. "Wait until everything is calm with his skin torn and flesh exposed." Kinshiki spoke. "Now, Master Momoshiki, it seems like it's time to absorb my chakra, just like in the past, when my guardians entrusted their power to me. Don't hesitate." Momoshiki stretched out his palm and shouted, "I won't." Up, screaming, Kinshiki was absorbed by the Rinnegan in Momoshiki's palm and turned into a red fruit the size of a palm. Momoshiki opened his mouth and swallowed the fruit in his hand bite by bite. Soon, Momoshiki's aura surged, a Rinnegan opened on his forehead, and he roared towards the front. The wind and waves caused Naruto to hold on to the cracked rock wall tightly, and he was almost blown away. Fire Nation hiss. This sentence contains so much information. Kinshiki also had a guardian before, but now he is Momoshiki's guardian. When the person being protected is in danger, the guardian will transform into chakra fruit to help the person being protected become stronger. Are Jinchiki and Momoshiki really the main family and the branch family? Or is there a branch family under the branch family? Apart from the fact that the ninjutsu he unleashed was extremely powerful, Momoshiki gave me the impression that he was not as powerful as Kinshiki. Could it be that the chakra founder of our ninja world also had a guardian? I've watched so many live broadcasts that my horizons have improved. I'm not surprised that a roar can cause such great damage to the environment. In fact, this roar alone can destroy the village. Momoshiki has become stronger. On screen Naruto and Sasuke walked towards Momoshiki. Sasuke untied his cloak. "It's like seeing me in the past, isn't it?" Naruto activated the fairy fox mode and his eyes turned into cross-shaped pupils. "Let's teach him a lesson." Sasuke responded. Swish, both sides rushed towards each other. Boom. Momoshiki stretched out his hand and caught the fists from Naruto and Sasuke. The surrounding rocks seemed unable to withstand the residual force of this simple punch and were directly shattered. Chapter 441 Change 8. Sasuke flew into the air and kicked Momoshiki in the face. Momoshiki's figure flew backwards. Sasuke caught up with Momoshiki's flying figure and punched him in the abdomen. Naruto's kick was dodged by Momoshiki and was punched away. Sasuke's attack followed closely and was also punched away. Naruto used his legs to lock Momoshiki's arms, creating an opportunity for Sasuke. Sasuke rolled over and locked Momoshiki's calves with his legs, but he flew away. Just as Sasuke drew his sword and prepared to finish off the opponent, Momoshiki kicked Sasuke's arm, and the Kusanagi sword flew out directly. Naruto took the Kusanagi sword and slashed at Momoshiki. Momoshiki reacted quickly, and a long red sword appeared in his hand to block Naruto's Kusanagi sword, making a ding sound. Ninja World, why don't we invite Emperor Kai out as well and give Momoshiki a kick? What did I say? I said it. This Akatsuki will definitely be beaten by a mixed couple. Naruto and Sasuke are indeed a couple who fell in love with each other at the first kiss since childhood. They worked together so well. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan Niji couldn't help but curl his lips. It is true. Leave the enemies that ordinary people can deal with to the 5 Kage, and leave the ones that they can't deal with to Naruto and Sasuke. Boruto explained to the 4 Kage. That's not the case. The 4 Kage had already been defeated by Momoshiki before this, but it was not shown on the screen. That's it. On screen, ding 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 ding. Naruto's sword attacks were blocked by Momoshiki one after another. Sasuke flashed in front of Momoshiki and kicked him in the chin, sending his body flying into the air. Then he disappeared in a flash. Naruto punched Momoshiki. Boom. Sasuke kicked Momoshiki in the face. Boom boom boom. The hard rock was like tofu, and was easily crushed by Momoshiki's body. Just when Naruto and Sasuke wanted to hit Momoshiki again, a red chain appeared in Momoshiki's hand and instantly tied Sasuke tightly. Then, Momoshiki dodged Naruto's kick. Boom. Naruto's body was trapped in the mountain that split in the middle. Momoshiki put his hands together, and the cracked mountain closed, trapping Naruto inside just as Sasuke rushed towards Momoshiki. his legs suddenly got stuck in the rocks and he couldn't move. Momoshiki swung the hammer at Sasuke. Sasuke stuck the Kusanagi sword into the ground, trying to block the blow. Boom! Sasuke was directly knocked away by Momoshiki's hammer. Momoshiki stretched out his hand and used Earth Attribute Chakra and Magma to attack Sasuke. Even though Sasuke activated Susanoo to resist, his body was still burned over a large area. Momoshiki clenched her fists. Boom! The magma exploded in the mountains behind him. The nine-tailed fox broke the mountain into pieces, jumped out from it, came to Sasuke, and stretched out its claws to protect Sasuke. Naruto, who was the nine-tailed fox, hugged Sasuke. Looking at Sasuke, who was severely injured by lava, Naruto's face was full of anger. The nine-tailed fox threw a punch at Momoshiki. Momoshiki stretched out his hands and used the snake created by the Earth Escape technique to bite the nine-tailed fox. The nine-tailed fox grabbed the snake, biting its body, and tore it apart. Then, it grabbed the wings of the giant bird that emerged from the magma beside it and tore it apart. Just as Naruto was about to continue, Sasuke grabbed his arm. Naruto immediately understood what he meant. Facing the lava giant created by Momoshiki using the attributes of earth and fire, the nine-tailed fox put on a layer of purple armor. The lava giant swung his arm towards the mighty Susanoo. A long sword appeared in the hand of the mighty Susanoo, and while ducking to avoid the lava giant's attack, he chopped the lava giant in half with one sword. Boom! The lava giant's body shattered, and Momoshiki lay powerless in midair. Chapter 442 Change 9. Ninja World. So handsome. This fight was so exciting to watch. Ever since Momoshiki became stronger, the Kages of the other four villages have been acting like idiots. Tisk. Seeing Sasuke injured, Naruto was angrier than ever before. Akatsuki, Momoshiki has finally been defeated. You don't have to worry about destroying the village if you take it head on. Naruto and Sasuke can both attack seriously. This is certainly not something a guy who can become stronger by swallowing pills can resist. Fire Nation Muai Village Sarutobi Clan. Even though the situation on the screen was good, Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression was still very serious. The Akatsuki, are they a family? So, how many people do they have? Uchiha Clan Land. Young Sasuke pondered, if it's just one of you, neither you nor Naruto would be a match for Momoshiki, but if you join forces, the two of you will have the upper hand. Future Sasuke nodded slightly. As long as Naruto and I join forces, no one in the ninja world will be our opponent. On screen at this time, Feng Zhu, wearing a ninja vest, and the bald man rushed out. Take this. Feng Zhu aimed the high-tech ninja tool on his wrist at Momoshiki. This is to give you back what you had before. The 5 elements ninjutsu is released from the technological ninja tools, accurately hitting Momoshiki in midair. Boom! The huge flames that had just risen disappeared in an instant. Daru was speechless. They are here again. Making trouble. It's them again. Rain country fuck. Biwa Juzang was greatly shocked. How can there be such stupid people in the world? Xiaonan couldn't help but roll his eyes. Idiot. Somewhere in the ninja world, Jiraiya's mouth twitched. Fuck. The group of digging ninjas from the land of fire were suddenly in an uproar. Feng Zhu is such an idiot. Are you sure this Feng Zhu is not a spy sent by the enemy? He used all his IQ and scientific research, right? I doubt this guy even has his INIE. It's over. Can Naruto and Sasuke still fight? Naruto has had so much chakra drained away, his body is already weak, and Sasuke was seriously injured before, so, we must not only guard against the enemy, but also our own people. I feel bad for the 7th generation leader for having such a fellow in the village. On screen, after absorbing the ninjutsu from the technological ninja tools, Momoshiki stood up again. Thank you, idiots. After saying that, he raised the corner of his mouth and pointed his palm downwards. Countless powerful ninjutsu were released from his palms. Boom boom boom. Naruto, who was running away, was blown away by the aftermath of the explosion behind him. Sasuke dodged and protected Naruto in his arms, with skeletons appearing around his body to block the aftermath in front of him. The explosions continued. Momoshiki in mid-air burst into laughter. Ho ha ho ha, ho ha ho ha. After the aftermath of the explosion subsided, Guard took back the sand that was protecting everyone. A black stick appeared in Momoshiki's hand, and he leapt to a place not far from Naruto. This ability is not bad. Naruto, who was half kneeling on the ground, was about to stand up when 3 black rods pierced into his body. Now, I will be careful with you. I will not kill the fox, but the others are worthless. As he spoke, he raised his palm, and arcs of electricity flashed in his palm as he pointed at the 4 shadows at this time. It's now. Remember what I said? This is the time to release the Rasengan. Naruto got a little nervous after hearing what Sasuke said. I can really, Sasuke whispered, trust your master. I brought you here because I trust you, Boruto no longer hesitated. A small Rasengan appeared in his palm, and he threw it hard towards Momoshiki. Momoshiki turned his head, looked at the Rasengan that he didn't take seriously, and stretched out his hand. Suddenly, the Rasengan disappeared. Seeing this, Momoshiki lowered his hand. Boom! The Rasengan hit Momoshiki's arm, knocking him to the ground, and the lightning in his hand dissipated. Faced with this sudden scene, the four figures were all a little bit unbelievable. What just happened? Pure Land Kushina pumped her fist excitedly. Well done, Boruto. Chapter 443 Change 10. Ninja World. I knew Boruto would be useful if he could come along. Boruto's Rasengan is hard to defend against. Seeing Momoshiki's confused expression, I really want to laugh. Meru was defeated by Boruto's Rasengan in the end, which shows that Boruto's Rasengan is very special. Konohamaru, who developed the Rasengan, is truly a genius. On screen, Sasuke and Boruto came to Naruto's side. Naruto looked at his son, who had done a great job, and asked, "When did you learn the Rasengan? Do you know how difficult it is to complete it?" Boruto grinned. Sasuke behind him explained, "But this Rasengan suddenly changed according to the nature of chakra, and it will disappear. I saw it." Sasuke said to Boruto. "Boruto, try again." "But my Rasengan is too," Naruto said. "Just do as Sasuke says." Okay. Momoshiki, who was far away, stood up and said angrily, "How dare you? You have already spoiled my jewelry twice." As he spoke, several red pills appeared in his palm and he swallowed them in one gulp. At this moment, Momoshiki's aura surged again up. Opposite Boruto, who was holding the small Rasengan, was stunned. Naruto hovered his hand under Boruto's palm. The Rasengan and Boruto's palm slowly began to grow larger and became normal size. Then, there are scenes of Jiraiya holding the Rasengan, Naruto using the Rasengan to defeat Kabuto, and the Rasengan and Chidori colliding. The Rasengan and Boruto's hand is getting bigger and bigger. He stared blankly at the huge Rasengan. How much did he endure to reach this level? Boruto watched as Naruto nodded gently at him. Tears welling up in his eyes, he closed his eyes tightly, and when he opened them again, his eyes were full of determination and a smile appeared on his face. "I don't like failure." Somewhere in the ninja world, Jiraiya's eyes were filled with relief. Ninja world. Boruto will probably never understand the weight of Naruto's Rasengan. Because Naruto is still alive, it's so painful. Momoshiki still has so many pills. Doesn't it mean that even if Fangzu didn't show up, he wouldn't be defeated so quickly? He's gotten stronger again. I've become numb to the Akatsuki's strength. Can he get stronger again? On screen, a dark red chakra ball also appeared in Momoshiki's palm. "I can be infinite." As soon as he finished speaking, the chakra ball in his hand became even larger than the Rasengan and Boruto's hand. Sasuke stepped forward and drew his Kusanagi sword. "We only have one chance, understand?" "Go ahead," Boruto responded. Sasuke rushed towards Momoshiki. Momoshiki pointed his palm towards Sasuke. Boom boom boom. Sasuke dodged Momoshiki's attacks one by one. Sasuke leaped into the air from the smoke rising from the explosion and threw the Kusanagi sword in his hand towards Momoshiki. Momoshiki ducked his head and the Kusanagi sword landed behind him. Sasuke appeared behind Momoshiki holding a kunai. Momoshiki punched Sasuke and sent him flying. With the Kusanagi sword flying into the air, there is no second chance. Boom. The Kusanagi sword in midair turned into Boruto holding a kunai. Sasuke and the big pit saw this scene. "The rest is up to you, Boruto." Boruto stabbed Momoshiki's Rinnegan in the palm of his hand with a kunai. Momoshiki waved his arm angrily, and Boruto in his palm turned into a cloud of smoke with a bang. Impossible. The next moment, Boruto, holding the huge Rasengan, slammed towards Momoshiki. Momoshiki used the dark red chakra ball in his hand to block. Boom. Boruto's sleeves were torn apart by this power, and the skin on his arms turned red. He roared, and the Rasengan defeated Momoshiki's chakra ball and pressed it hard on Momoshiki's body. Boruto twisted his wrist hard. Momoshiki screamed and was taken out of the earth by the Rasengan, exploding in outer space and turning into starlight. Chapter 444 Change 11. Ninja World. An enemy stronger than Naruto and Sasuke was defeated by Boruto's Rasengan. This is the second time. Boruto's fighting style is something that ordinary ninjas simply cannot use, but this also proves that he is indeed special. Boruto has never let anyone down. It seems that everyone trusts Boruto. I discovered this from Wuming's previous story. Pure Land. Ganzo's heart suddenly ached. "That's the Rinnegan. Are you going to ruin it with a kunai, defeat him and dig out the Samsara eye?" Minato smiled. "Naruto, you gave birth to a very good son. Fire Nation, we should let the 7th Hokage have a good talk with Momoshiki. Maybe the 7th Hokage can convince that guy, huh?" Kaguya said that the Akatsuki only believe in strength. Even Boruto and Sasuke work so well together. Muay Village Hyuga Clan. Boruto looked at the diamond-shaped mark on his palm. Finished. If only it were that simple. On screen, the black stick on Naruto's body gradually dissipated. Sasuke came up to him. You are such a mess. The same to you. Sasuke sat down. Yes, I can't even stand steadily. Naruto laughed twice and completely relaxed. Sasuke said, I won this game. The ninja spirit remains unchanged, even in a child. Naruto looked in Boruto's direction. Boruto, you are right. His situation is different from mine. My father is the fourth Hokage, and I am still alive. I can be by your side and take care of you, until you grow up. Screen turn. Early morning. Naruto's home. Himori watched Hinata sew clothes for Boruto. It's okay, Mom, don't worry about it. Hearing this, Hinata looked at Boruto, who was playing games at the dinner table. Boruto continued, my clothes look pretty cool like that. After saying that, he put down the game console and walked towards Hinata. Mom, my coat. Hinata handed the coat in her hand to Boruto. I am leaving now. As Boruto passed by the dining table, he glanced at Naruto, who was holding a teacup. What are you doing, Dad? Naruto seemed to have just realized it and stood up. Oh yes, Sunflower reminded, Dad, your lunch. Oh, yes. Thank you, Zyokyo. No. Boruto forgot to. The picture was displayed on the wall of the house at this time. There was a photo of Boruto, Sasuke and the 5 Kage on the wall. In the middle of the photo, Boruto, who was missing a sleeve, was smiling happily. I am leaving. I left too. The father and son ran out of the house. Naruto turned to look at Boruto. Boruto, you have a mission today. Yes, you have to work hard too, Dad, Boruto said, raising his fist. Understood. Naruto also raised his fist and bumped fists with Boruto. Ninja world. I understand. The Akatsuki crisis that even Kaguya feared helped Boruto grow. As for the last Akatsuki, it must have been solved by the grown-up Boruto himself. Without the Akatsuki crisis, Naruto's family has become warm again. What about Fangsuke? What was the outcome of his treatment? We can't just let him go easily, right? That bastard almost caused a disaster. If it weren't for Boruto's Rasengan, the ninja world might have been destroyed. On screen, Boruto is being interviewed. Chapter 445. Change 12. The important thing is to train and learn, right? The host asked. Even though you were just a Jonin, you fought alongside the 5 Kage and saved us. What is the most important thing about being a ninja? Boruto answered decisively. Teamwork and perseverance. Oh, that's a very good point. In the Hokage's office, Naruto was watching the interview with his chin propped up on one hand. Interviewing Boruto continued, my father told me that what matters is not what you think in your head, but how you feel in your heart. Finally, do you have anything to say about this Chunin exam? Boruto said confidently, I will pass this time. Just wait and see. After saying that, Boruto's figure disappeared into smoke with a bang. This live interview ends. Ninja world. This scene seems familiar. There are too many glasses. You have become sensible, but you have also become the person you once hated the most. Naruto must be very pleased when he sees Boruto being interviewed. On screen on Shadow Rock, Sarada folded her arms and glanced at Boruto. Shadow clone? I hope this is the real person. Of course, Mitsuki asked. You are busy with so many TV interviews now, Sarada whispered, but actually you cheated. How many times do I have to apologize? Just forgive me. At this time, there were screams of fear from below. Konohamaru took out a telescope to check a voice and the headset reported, a panda escaped from the park. No. It's a bear. Anyway, that animal is heading your way. Konohamaru took 2 steps forward. I understand. Here you go again, bastard, he ordered. I will be the bait. You come and catch it. Boruto and Sarada responded. Understood. Mitsuki looked at Boruto and Sarada. You two, do it well this time. Boruto, you are the son of the 7th Hokage, and the grandson of the 4th Hokage. Sarada lowered her head. Hey, Boruto? Boruto looked at her. Sarada asked, deep down in your heart, don't you want to be a Hokage? Am I? Hokage? Boruto suddenly smiled. I don't want to, because, when you become Hokage, I want to be your helper. I will protect you. Sarada's face turned red instantly. Boruto added, for me, Hokage is just a path. Just because my father and grandfather are Hokage, doesn't mean I have to follow the same path. Sarada, my goal is to be a ninja like your father. Boruto raised his clenched fist. I want to walk my own ninja path. Screen turn. Konohamaru was being chased by a bear on Shadow Rock. Okay, that's it, let's go. Boruto. Mitsuki, okay. 3 figures jumped down from the Hokage rock one after another. Boruto, who was at the back, was holding a normal-sized Rasengan in his hand. Fire Nation, stop chatting. If you continue chatting for a while, Konohama will be eaten by the panda. What panda? It's clearly a bear. Have you mastered the Rasengan? Boruto is growing so fast. With the story ending and Momoshiki coming to an end, I can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Speaking of which, Momoshiki's ability is to absorb ninjutsu, amplify the power of ninjutsu and then release it. What would happen if he absorbed the jutsu he released? Hiss. Then maybe Momoshiki's technique will be absorbed. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 446. The third live broadcast ends. On screen the next video appears title, My Good Brother, Kage. The next moment, Kage's slightly hoarse voice sounded. In your glorious moment, let me sing a song for you, my good brother. Tell me when you are in pain. We will walk the road ahead together, even if it means crossing a river together. It's a bit hard and tiring, but what does it matter? You didn't let me be with you when you needed me, my good brother. Tell me when you are in pain. Life has its ups and downs, but we must live strong. You've cried and laughed, at least you still have me. Friendship is higher than the sky and wider than the earth. We will definitely remember those things that surpass us. Friendship is the most precious thing in our life. It is like a glass of wine, like an old song. Pure land. Hashirame's eyes welled up with tears as he listened. The lyrics are really good. I didn't expect Kage to be not only a good son, but also a good boy who values friendship. Tobirama gave his approval. This guy named Kage sang both songs better than the one that spoofed me. Izuna tapped the ground with her toes as she listened. Although it's not as good as the one sung by that Senju Tobirama guy, the lyrics are pretty good. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Boruto looked like he was enjoying it. It's nice. This song reminds me of my father and Uncle Sasuke. It must be a blessing to be Kage's brother and father, right? Hearing this, Rizu nodded in approval. Kage must be a good companion who deserves to be cherished. Boruto, when you return, you must interact with him more, Boruto said solemnly. I understand, Grandpa. Rain Country. Naruto swallowed the food in his mouth with tears in his eyes. So touching. Woo. Somewhere in the ninja world, Kakashi looked up at the dark night sky. The two songs sung by Kage are the best songs I have ever heard. Parker sighed. This song reminds me of you and Obito, the first Hokage and the Shura of the ninja world, Naruto and Sasuke. Kakashi was startled. Parker continued. It makes me smell the scent of love. Kakashi. Just the title of the next video made many people in the ninja world stunned. On screen title, Naruto treats Kage as his own son. The screen starts. Naruto and Kage walked side by side on the street, and he said to Kage, I will take you home. Because from today on, you will live with me. Screen turn. The two arrived at the door of their home. Naruto said, from today on, this is your home. Then, scenes flash by. There is a scene where Naruto puts the meat in Kage's bowl when they are eating ramen together. And there is also a scene where Naruto hugs Kage in his arms. Screen turn. Naruto looked at Kage's lonely back and said, our mother has already cooked dinner. There was a plastic bag next to Kage, and it was not difficult to see that it was food he bought outside without even turning his head. He said, just eat this. There is no place for me to stay in this village. As soon as he finished saying this, Kage was carried on Naruto's shoulders. He asked angrily, what are you doing? Come home with me quickly, stupid son. Ninja world. What? I see. So, Kage's previous song about father was sung for Naruto. How can you treat him as your own son? You're already calling him your son. In that case, then the song Kage just sang about his brother was for. Boruto is pretty nice to Kage and was willing to bring Kage along when he opened the card. Somewhere in the ninja world, Kakashi sighed. Naruto is so lucky to have such a filial son. Rain Country. Naruto even forgot to swallow the food in his mouth. Fire Nation Muai Village Hyuga Clan. Boruto looked stunned. He felt like he was being forgiven. Stupid dad actually called someone else's son behind my back. Hayashi raised his frowning brow. Your father calls others his son outside, but grandpa is different. In this life, grandpa only recognizes you as his grandson. Boruto, on screen turn. Kage looked at the person in front of him and said, Boruto, do you still remember what I said to you before? If Momoshiki takes over your body in the future, I will stop you with my bare hands. Boruto, who was standing opposite Kage, covered his right eye, with blue markings on the back of his hand. I still remember beside them. Naruto saw how heavy the atmosphere was between the two and had a bad feeling in his heart. Wait a minute, what are you talking about? Boruto put down his hand. There were also blue markings on the right half of his face, and in his eye socket, there was a white eye. He lowered his head, made a seal, and whispered to him, "Dad, I'm sorry. Please tell Mom and Sunflower for me." Wait. What are you going to do? Don't rush into anything stupid." As he said that, Naruto quickly ran to Boruto, trying to stop his next move. Dad, wind style, fierce wind palm. The next moment, Naruto flew out. Naruto was not the only one who had a bad feeling in his heart. Pure Land Minato's pupils trembled. What is Momoshiki? And the lines on Boruto and Kage's faces. What happened? Kushina felt uneasy. Naruto, Boruto, you guys. Fire Nation Daming Mansion. The daimyo stopped waving his folding fan. Rain Country Biwajuzo looked at Kage on the screen, narrowed his eyes, and a fierce look flashed in his eyes. What does this little brat want to do? In the ninja world, many people not only had a bad feeling, but also felt a little puzzled. Why did Momoshiki take over Boruto's body? On screen it seems you have made up your mind. Boruto, go ahead, brother. Hearing Boruto's words, Kage raised his fist and punched Boruto in the chest. Boom. Boruto's chest was pierced and blood spurted everywhere. Kage pulled his hand out and Boruto's body flew backwards. Boruto, following Naruto's desperate roar. The screen went black. The mechanical sound of the system rang in everyone's mind. The third live broadcast ends. Pure Land Minato, Kushina, sweat beaded onto bitterness. Ford, no way, Naruto's son is dead. Naruto saw this scene. Rain Country Biwajuzo took a deep breath, anger boiling in his heart. Brute. Naruto's expression was dull, his mind was blank, and no matter how the Nine Tails, Konan, and Pain in the sealed space called out to him, there was no response. Zayanen's eyes were full of worry. Suffered Fire Nation. A group of Konoha ninjas, Uchiha Hikaru! Muai Village. Uchiha Clan Land. Sasuke and future Sasuke's expressions changed drastically. Hyuga Clan Neji clenched his fists suddenly. Rizu's eyes were bloodshot and he stood up suddenly. Bastard! Seeing such an explosive scene, the entire ninja world was in an uproar. Boruto was killed by Kage. Oh my god, such a good child. How could Naruto withstand such a blow? It seems like there is something hidden, but no matter what, it's not a reason for Kage to kill Boruto. Naruto took care of Kage as if he were his own son, but Kage killed Boruto. Boruto still calls Kage brother, and thinking back to what this guy sang about father and brother before, how ironic is that? I thought Kage would be nice to Naruto. But he gave me a slap in the face, Alice. From nothing to something, and then to loss. This world brings nothing but pain to Naruto. P.S. I will be lazy for a few more days. It's time to fill in the gaps. If you don't like to see the gaps filled in, I will finish it as soon as possible. Then I want to write a fanfiction that spoofs Madara in the next live broadcast. At present, I have only thought of a setting, and I haven't figured out how to write it specifically. The previous review detected similar content to other books and almost took it off the shelves. I dare not write many famous scenes. Later, I will try to write more original plots. Chapter 447. Well-deserved reputation. Pure Land. Before falling asleep, Kushina was still mumbling in disbelief. How could this happen? Boruto, Naruto, Izuna took a breath. Watching my own son die in front of me, this kind of thing, especially with Naruto's personality, he couldn't even imagine how much pain Naruto would be in. Madara waited quietly for his consciousness to fall into sleep. If he didn't know the truth about the infinite moon reading, he would be happy to see this scene from the live broadcast. Because after seeing this happen, he was confident that he could convince Naruto to help him build that beautiful moon dream. But at this moment, he was silent. He just wants peace, not to destroy the ninja world. If Naruto falls into darkness, will the future of the Akatsuki be left to Sasuke to deal with? Rain Country. Naruto was in tears and shaking all over. I can't even protect my own son. Sealed space. Which one is more attractive? Which one is more attractive? Naruto recalled the scene where Boruto was pierced through the body by Kage. What kind of savior am I? At this time the door was open. Scorpion and Biwajuzo walked in. Scorpion tried calling Naruto twice, but got no response. Zayanen shook his head slightly inside. Naruto has completely lost himself in his own world. In the current situation, it is not right to interrupt, but if I don't interrupt, Naruto will have to rely on himself to get out of this. Seeing Naruto's painful and self-blaming look, Biwajuzo said angrily, that bastard. Naruto treated him like his own son, and this is how he repays Naruto. Fire Nation. Uchiha Guang looked at the crowd coming over with caution when he saw the 4 protectors on their heads. 3 Magatama appeared in his eyes. You are Konoha ninjas. Shikoku suppressed the heaviness in his heart from seeing Boruto's death. What is happening right now is more important than what has not happened yet. He walked forward and said, "Don't be nervous, introduce yourself." "I am." Uchiha Hikaru looked at him expressionlessly and interrupted, "Naruto, the Hokage advisor of Uzumaki Naruto." "Shikoku, no, I am his father." Hearing this, Uchiha Guang's pupils suddenly shook, then now is, muttering something. She had roughly guessed the era she was living in. Uchiha Guang's eyes became increasingly fierce as he looked at the Konoha ninjas in front of him. "Who told you to remove my seal now, Konoha ninja?" A bean-sized bead of sweat rolled down the back of Shikoku's head. Doesn't it mean that by the time Boruto is born, I'll be old?" Hearing what Uchiha Hikaru said, Shikoku's mouth twitched, and he had to explain to her why the Konoha ninja was looking for her to seal. "Not long. What needs to be explained has been explained almost enough." Lu Jiu spread his hands. "That's right. Because your ability is too strong, we are afraid that you will be used by someone with ulterior motives again." Uchiha Hikaru narrowed his eyes and asked coldly, "Being used? Are you saying I'm stupid?" The future Uchiha Hikaru was redeemed, but she was not. She is still the same woman who hates ninjas, although, in her heart, she also wanted to meet Boruto, the man who traveled back in time to save her. The two are in conflict. She was so upset that she felt like a ball, but just because she saw Boruto save her, she gave up her hatred. "She can't do it," Shikoku quickly explained. "That's not what I meant. I just hope that after watching the live broadcast, you won't make a decision that you will regret." "Uchiha Hikaru, please believe in the ninjas of future generations. The ninjas of today are no longer the same as they were in the past." Uchiha Hikaru was startled. "Believe in the ninja? All my sufferings were caused by the ninja. You want me to believe in the ninja? You're not even Boruto. Why do you make me believe in ninjas?" Shikoku said to her sincerely, "Believe me, your experiences will not happen again in this era. I promise you." Uchiha Guang's expression returned to being cold, and he slowly uttered, "I don't believe you." Having said that, her eyes returned to their original black color. Seeing this, Shikoku felt relieved. "Well then, follow me back to Konoha. Don't push your luck. There's no way I'm going to Konoha with you. Who knows if you guys are planning to use me too." Boruto and Sasuke from the future have come to this time and space, and will leave soon. If you hurry up and come back with me now, you may be able to see him again. The coldness on Uchiha Guang's face had not yet been retracted. "Let's go then." The group of Konoha ninjas across from her were whispering to each other. "Light is really cute." Yes, she is even prettier in person than on the screen." Uchiha Guang felt his ears getting slightly hot. They seemed to like themselves very much. This feeling was something she had never experienced before. She thought silently. In her heart it turned red on its own. It has nothing to do with Methy. Discussions continued to reach her ears. "So son dear, just like Sasuke when he was a kid, female dressing Sasuke is worthy of his reputation." Uchiha Hikaru, P.S. I'll let myself go for 2 more days. The later plot is a bit hard to write. I even don't want Boruto and Hikari to see each other for the last time. My brain seems to be blocked and I don't know how to write it. I've been stuck for a long time. This is all I have written today. I'll post it first. I wish you all a happy Valentine's Day. These little flowers I picked up from the trash can are for you. Chapter 448 Nameless? Uchiha Hikaru turned to Shikoku and said, "Let me make it clear first, after Boruto leaves, I will not stay in Konoha. If you insist on keeping me, don't blame me for being rude." Shikoku thought about what to say and said, "Although the ninja world has a common enemy, the current attitudes of Akatsuki and Uchiha Obito are unclear, and it is still very dangerous." The meaning of this statement is very clear. If he didn't stay in Konoha, Uchiha Hikaru would have been taken away by Akatsuki or Obito. "Are you calling me weak?" Shikoku's mouth twitched. "Women are indeed troublesome creatures. No, you are very strong. But I still hope you can seriously consider it. Staying in Konoha may be the best choice. The village will do its best to ensure that you will not be disturbed by certain guys." Uchiha Hikaru remained silent. "Country of Earth." Iwagakure Noki slapped his forehead. The old man said before that Kage must be a very filial and loyal guy. At this moment, people all over the ninja world were heatedly discussing the fact that Boruto was killed by Kage. There are many people in the ninja world who have always supported Naruto and his path, and they naturally like his son very much. As much as they like Boruto, they hate Kage who killed Boruto. When I saw Boruto being killed by Kage, my mind went blank for a moment. I thought I had seen it wrong. Naruto had a legendary life. He had experienced countless battles without any accidents. In my impression, Naruto had always been invincible. I didn't expect that he couldn't even save his own son. He watched Boruto die in front of him and was powerless to do anything. No. Boruto won't die so easily. In my eyes, he is the protagonist of the new era after Naruto. I can't imagine how Hinata and Himori would feel when they heard this bad news. Boruto and Kage's strength is becoming more and more incomprehensible. I have a feeling that they are very strong. The implication revealed on the screen is that Momoshiki will take over Boruto's body, so he is willing to die at Kage's hands. I'm more worried about Naruto. I don't know what his mood would be right now. Rain Country Scorpion turned around and walked out of the room. His tone was cold. I'm going to find Kage's father. Biwaju narrowed his eyes. I'll go with you. Since the brat hasn't been born yet, then he shouldn't be born. Fire Nation Muai Village Uchiha Clan Land Hayashi, who brought Boruto here, bowed deeply to future Sasuke. Boruto is in your hands, Sasuke. Hearing Hayashi's words, future Sasuke nodded solemnly. Don't worry, Master Hyuga, I won't let that happen. Boruto's eyes welled up with tears. He was touched. Really, Grandpa, I told you I won't die that easily. The members of the Uchiha clan stood not far away and watched this scene. There was some noise at the entrance of the clan territory. They could also vaguely hear the tribesmen guarding the door shouting loudly, "You guys! How many times have I told you? There is no one like Uchiha in our clan." No, the villagers also shouted loudly without giving in. I don't believe it. You must have hidden Sister Aoi. Sasuke and Boruto are about to leave, right? At least let us see them off as well. In the tribe, one of the tribesmen curled his lips and said, "These villagers really don't take Uchiha seriously anymore. I still prefer the way they were afraid of us before. At least they had the proper respect." Fugaku, who had hurried back from the Hokage's office to see Sasuke off, frowned and said, "If they dare to make such a fuss, it means that they no longer regard the clan members as outsiders. This is a good thing for the clan." Master Fugaku is right. This has something to do with Master Sasuke. At the entrance of the Uchiha clan, for some reason, the noisy sound suddenly became quiet. For a moment someone rubbed his eyes. Uchiha Hikaru, is this true? She actually showed up. Could it be that someone used a transformation technique? Uchiha Hikaru ignored the villagers gathered here and asked Shikaku, "Is Boruto in here?" After receiving a positive answer, she jumped and flew into the Uchiha clan's territory. The Uchiha members guarding the door looked at each other, and no one stopped them in the tribe. Future Sasuke said to Boruto, "Okay Boruto, we should go now. Tell your father the information you got as soon as possible." Boruto nodded. I wonder what expression my stupid dad would have when he finds out that he will be killed in the future. Thinking about it, he actually felt a little bit of anticipation in his heart, looking forward to Naruto's reaction. She also looked forward to Naruto's care and more attention than before. At this moment, Hayashi opened his arms and said to Boruto, "Since we are all leaving, let's hug Grandpa one last time." This time Boruto did not resist. Instead, he opened his arms and walked over as if he was ready to die. Rizu picked him up and rubbed his face with his own. "Oh, my dear grandson, I am so distressed. Don't get into any trouble in the future." Future Sasuke looked away. "Although I have seen it on the screen, it is still hard to watch." "Don't worry, Chief Hyuga, I will help you keep the secret of your other face with the help of the top leaders of the 5 major ninja villages. When I return, Akatsuki is endangering the entire ninja world, and there is a high probability that his experience with Boruto will be discussed at the 5-Cage Council." As soon as future Sasuke looked away, he saw Uchiha Hikaru, who had just arrived. Uchiha Hikaru paused as he looked at Boruto, whose face was being rubbed against by Hayashi. Although Hyuga Hayashi exudes majesty from head to toe, he gives people the feeling of a big bird relying on a person. Uchiha Hikaru, noticing the strange gaze, Boruto and Hayashi looked in the direction of Uchiha Hikaru at the same time. Hiss. Boruto was horrified. Nameless. Hayashi subconsciously let go of his hand. Boruto gripped the ground with his toes tightly, and looked at Uchiha Hikaru, his face feeling a little hot. Why is Wuming here? But he soon figured out the reason. The village must be afraid that Akatsuki, Obito or other ambitious people will find Wuming first. If I had known this would happen, I should have rejected Grandpa's request. The Uchiha clan members around all felt the awkward atmosphere in the air, but the next moment, Uchiha Guang noticed the group of people watching the show not far away. An Uchiha clan members. At this moment, it seemed as if a big danger was written above their heads. Some tribesmen hurriedly waved their hands and explained, "Ancestor, please listen to our explanation. We are not those ancestors." Uchiha Hikaru's voice became even colder. "But you are their descendants." Chapter 449. Bring your father back. Just when the atmosphere was becoming increasingly tense, Boruto spoke up. "I didn't expect to see you before I left. Wooming. No, that's not right. I should call you Guang, Uchiha Guang. Uchiha Hikaru was about to take a step but stopped. Some tribesmen breathed a sigh of relief. Of course, most of the tribesmen are not worried about this. Even if a fight really breaks out, future Sasuke, who has not left yet, will definitely stop it at the critical moment. I'm glad to meet you, Hikaru. Uchiha Hikaru looked at the sunny smile on Boruto's face, then glanced at the Uchiha clansman with a complicated expression. She had a lot to say to Boruto, even though the Boruto in front of her hadn't saved her yet. She, like Wooming on the screen, hates the ninja world and ninjas, but the same thing is because of Boruto. She feels that this world is still, anyway, she didn't want to do anything that she would regret again. Thinking of this, she stopped looking at the Uchiha clan members. I'm glad to meet you too, Boruto. Boruto turned to look at future Sasuke. Uncle Sasuke, I want to talk to Guang alone. Can you give us some time? Future Sasuke said, it just so happens that I have some things to do, and I wanted to take you with me. In this case, I will leave it to you to solve her problem. Boruto was confused. Bring me what I did, future Sasuke said calmly. Bring your father back. Boruto slapped his forehead. I've been here for so long, and I totally forgot about my stupid dad. Fugaku was stunned for a moment. Bring Naruto back? Sasuke, future Sasuke whispered. Leave it to me. Naruto's abduction is the biggest trouble Konoha village is facing right now. Even the daimyo is keeping this matter a secret. Once the news leaks, no one will be able to take the responsibility. He wanted to do his part to make this world, which was as beautiful as the infinite Tsukuyomi to him, even better. Young Sasuke glanced at Boruto and Uchiha Hikaru. This Uchiha is given to Uzumaki Boruto. He then looked towards future Sasuke. That vortex is left to this Uchiha. What a two-way rush. Fugaku looked at future Sasuke entering the space-time gate, his eyes filled with satisfaction and pride. He felt that the best decision he had ever made in his life was to have a second child with his wife. Fugaku glanced at the tribesmen who were still watching, as well as Hayashi. Let's all go back and have some rest. Hayashi nodded and glanced at Boruto reluctantly. Goodbye, Boruto. Boruto also saw Hayashi's reluctance to leave, and he waved with tears in his eyes. Goodbye, Grandpa. When I return, I will often go to Hyuga to accompany you. The tribesmen were also tactful enough to leave the two of them some space to be alone soon. Boruto and Uchiha Hikaru were the only ones left there. Hyuga clan Neji raised his elbow to block Hinata's palm. The two figures separated. Neji said worriedly, Miss, go and rest early. We can continue tomorrow. You are already very tired. If Neji-san is tired, I can train on my own. Neji didn't feel tired. He opened his mouth. He could see Hinata's guilt, but I don't know how to comfort her when Boruto was around. Hinata behaved normally, but after Boruto left, she could no longer suppress the guilt. There was an unprecedented determination in Hinata's eyes. Don't try to persuade me anymore, Neji. In the future, brother Neji sacrificed himself to save me. I couldn't help Naruto-kun when Konoha was in crisis. I don't even have the strength to protect Boruto. This time it's Boruto. Will it be him? Worry next time. Next time, will it be Naruto? The more she thought about it, the more determined Hinata became. I want to become strong. Strong enough to protect everything. Rain Country Zio organization. Pain looked solemn. I sense a very large amount of chakra entering the Rain Country. It is stronger than ever before. Zion also became serious. He glanced at Naruto, who had his head down and was in a depressed state. Could it be aimed at Naruto? Is it Uchiha Obito, or Sensei Jiraiya? Pain spoke slowly. No. This dangerous feeling, I'm afraid it's my future wife, Hasis, from a parallel universe. After hearing the key words, Naruto finally regained some consciousness, raised his head, and thought of what Pine had just said. With a look of shock on his face, soon, a black hole appeared in the room, and the figure of future Sasuke walked out of it. Konan subconsciously protected Naruto behind her. Future Sasuke grasped the hilt of the Kusanagi sword and said to Konan, I am more worried that you will hurt Naruto than being wary of me, so you don't have to act like this. Now, I want to take Naruto back to Konoha. Even when facing the future Sasuke, Konan shows no weakness. A pair of paper wings appeared behind her, and she raised her finger. If you can survive 600 billion detonating tags, then talk to us about taking Naruto away. The atmosphere suddenly became tense. Future Sasuke narrowed his eyes and said in a cold voice, even if you know the truth from the screen, you still plan to collect the tailed beasts? You are indeed hopeless guys. In this case, I can only... Naruto interrupted him and retorted, Uncle Nagato and Sister Konan are not trying to collect the tailed beasts. Future Sasuke was stunned. I didn't expect Naruto would actually speak up for Nagato and Konan. Naruto wiped his tears with his sleeve. Why would you want me to go back? Like in the movies, when I become Hokage, I have to watch my son die in front of my own eyes? I'm living well here, I don't want to go back. Future Sasuke's expression froze. Naruto, I understand how you feel, but you have your reasons for having to go back. As for Boruto, I won't let that happen. Hearing future Sasuke's words, Naruto's tears flowed uncontrollably again, and he shouted at him emotionally, "Can you understand how I feel, what savior? You put this lousy title on me. You feel at ease leaving all crises in the ninja world to us to solve. When the critical moment comes, who will protect the savior son who has always protected the ninja world? Boruto has obviously done so many things for the ninja world, but who has done anything for him? I only know that, except for Uncle Hibiki, everyone else survived the crisis when Akatsuki arrived. Only Boruto died." Future Sasuke pursed his lips. "I want to defend myself, but, if Boruto is replaced by Sarada, then neither he nor Sasuke in this time and space will be in a better situation than Naruto." After a long silence, he just said something pale and weak. "I can understand how it feels to see a loved one die in front of you," Pine said. "Uchiha Sasuke, you can see that Naruto doesn't want to go back to Konoha with you. So, please leave." Chapter 450 to number 039, S Poisonous. Xiaoyan followed suit and said, "That's right, we won't hurt Naruto, but we'll train him well. You can leave without worry." This explanation seems to be a sign of weakness. How confident he is in his 600 billion detonating tags and pain strength. That's not the case. If things go wrong, it might even destroy the Rain Kingdom. It would be best if this matter could be resolved peacefully. Future Sasuke frowned. "Train Naruto? Who have these eyes?" Future Sasuke rudely interrupted what Pine was about to say next. "Nagato, you should wake up from your dream that you are the savior. After all, you are just a pawn chosen by Madara, a poor creature. How can you be confident enough to teach Naruto well? Don't be so self-indulgent." Xiaoyan was furious when hearing this, and said in a cold voice, "Uchiha Sasuke, do you really think that you can do whatever you want in Akatsuki with your strength? I think you are the one who is being sentimental. You are not even from this world, but you want to interfere in the affairs of our world." Future Sasuke sneered. "Naruto's matter is of great importance. If there is any mistake, the ninja world might be destroyed. If I give Naruto to you to train, can you bear the responsibility of not training Naruto well? When the Akatsuki comes, no one can resist. You can easily choose to die to apologize, but have you ever thought about what to do with the ninja world?" "I'm sick," Naruto yelled. "What am I in your eyes? Am I just someone who can save the ninja world? As long as I can save the ninja world, how I feel doesn't matter at all." Future Sasuke choked and his palms began to sweat. Although the Naruto in front of him is still very young, due to the existence of live broadcasts, his knowledge is far beyond that of the people of his time and space, and he is more independent-minded than Naruto when he was a child. But the stubbornness in one's bones is not easy to change at this moment. Naruto only accepted Akatsuki after living here for a period of time, and it is very difficult to change his mind. Naruto knew from a young age that he was born without parents. As the son of a hero, he was rejected and hated by the villagers. But after being suddenly crowned as the savior, he became the hope of the entire ninja world. It's like Naruto must save the ninja world in order to live up to the hopes of everyone in the ninja world. It is obvious that Naruto on the screen just wanted to become Hokage, but now the priorities have a completely reversed. No one would feel comfortable after experiencing something like this. Naruto continued talking. "You don't understand my thoughts at all, and you don't understand why I don't want to go back. Uncle Nagato and Sister Konan have always been very kind to me, making me feel things I've never felt before, just like the third grandpa. But the difference is that they have more time to spend with me. Brother Scorpion and Brother Juzo are also very good to me. This kind of kindness is a recognition of me, not a recognition of the savior. I don't want to abandon this bond. And I won't allow you to insult Uncle Nagato. Otherwise, or I will beat up the Sasuke of this world." Future Sasuke, Xiaoyan felt relieved. "Consider Nagato more important than Sasuke in this world. It's not in vain that I love you. No matter how much I stroke you." Pain was also deeply moved. Sasori and Juzo were indeed very nice to Naruto. Scorpion felt empathy for Naruto when he saw the video of the Nine Tails Rebellion on the screen. After seeing Naruto's choice and his battle with Qiu and Sakura, he gradually saw clearly his own heart. He realized that the boring feelings he had always wanted to abandon were the things he cherished most in his heart. So he didn't look at Naruto differently just because of his identity as the savior. Given Scorpio's personality, he wouldn't care about being a savior. Biwajuzo is very simple. After Naruto joined Akatsuki, He treated Naruto as one of his own. You have to protect your own people, future Sasuke. Why are they so difficult to deal with? 1 or 2. Now Naruto obviously recognizes the rain country more than Konoha. He felt that the situation before him was extremely bad before coming here. I never thought this matter would be so difficult. Naruto, isn't your dream to become a Hokage? Are you going to give up your dream, the me of this time and space, and the bonds with my companions? Have you ever thought about the pressure that the village that lost you will face? Xiaonan swallowed subconsciously. Emotion card. The killer move is here. Sure enough, after hearing this, Naruto lowered his head and became conflicted. Future Sasuke then said to Naruto, I understand and respect your thoughts. Otherwise, I can take you away by force and use illusion to erase your memories of Akatsuki instead of wasting time here, trying to convince you to leave with me willingly. Naruto, you said I don't understand your thoughts, but you also don't understand my impatience at the moment. For Boruto and the future of the ninja world, I must inform Naruto of the intelligence I get as soon as possible so that the ninja world can respond in advance. For the village, for the ninja world, I can give everything, even my own life, and it is you, Naruto, who changed me. Why are you struggling with what choice to make now? Naruto was silent. Pain sighed. Sasuke wanted to take Naruto away, and Akatsuki couldn't stop him since Sasuke came here. The only hope for Naruto to stay is that Naruto himself firmly chooses Akatsuki. It is precisely because he is facing Naruto that the impatient Sasuke is so patient. If the savior is replaced by someone else, Sasuke will do as he says, take him away by force, and use illusion to erase his memory. Fire Nation Muai Village. Haruno family. Sakura turned over in bed. The voice in her mind that had been tormenting her for a long time sounded again. My wife Uchiha Madara, damn it. Why does this line of lyrics keep popping up in my head? Sakura sat up and scratched her hair in annoyance. Second generation master, you are poisonous. Hokage building. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face was filled with sorrow. Fugaku, what do you think about Boruto being killed by Kage? Glancing at the pile of documents on his desk, Fugaku rubbed his temples. I don't want to watch it anymore. Not at all. Sandame, once Sasuke leaves, is it too late for me to return the Hokage to you? The tone of this joke is full of a little sincerity. The original police force was still more relaxed. The work is simple and you don't have to worry about anything now that he's become Hokage. He has to take everything into consideration, including the geniuses and technical talents in the village, Naruto's growth, Naruto's inner thoughts, the trivial matters in the village. The other 4 major ninja villages, the ninja world, Akatsuki, Obito, Madara, and Otsutsuki. Why had he been so blinded by greed in the first place that he had to treat this shabby position as a treasure? Sarutobi Hiruzen smirked. Haha, god aim, you are really humorous. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.